All right, so we've got a crowd across Twitch, Grand Assembly VC, and in-game here. If this is your first Grand Assembly, please note that we have 3 announcement phases. In between, we have 3 raffles that we'll be doing in between. Some nice stuff from the Azure prize pool. Items donated by our members. We'll be going through the announcement phases, the raffles, and following with the Q&A, which we have the nifty little podium for here in the center of the room, where we ask folks to either line up, use the raise hand feature here in our Discord stage channel, or type in any sort of comments, feedback, proposals, ideas, comments, maybe feedback for the council and I, things like that. They're in chat when we get to the Q&A period. Also in Twitch chat, you can also enter our raffles. Excuse me. Enter our raffles by placing a 3-digit number in chat when we start the raffle. We'll announce that the flash raffle has begun, and instructions will be in-game to use /random in your box. That will roll a random number, and the number closest to the number that I roll will win the prize. I'll wait and give it about a minute when we do those, maybe 2 minutes. Then we'll be checking numbers across the board. And then there is also Grand Assembly Stage Channel Chat, which also is completely viable for posting your raffle numbers. So there's 3 ways to enter. We'll go over how to enter those raffles as well when we get there. First off, we want to start with our, let's see, our opening here. We'd like to welcome our new members of our community. So first off, welcome new members. Per tradition, we like to go down the list of names of all the new members that have joined Azure Infinitum within the last 30 days, giving each one a shout out and a special welcome. So, without further ado, let's welcome our new members of Azure. Welcome, Ifrithanthus. I'm so sorry. Ifrithanis, I hope I'm saying that right. Argasar. Nathan Oliver. Also joined today, Kumokiri Uzuka, Anks Girl, Denochi Tsukino. Welcome, Shinjiro Mishanen. Welcome, this is a Warframe recruit, S6M3 Riscote. Back to 14, Nero Rowe, Fiona Issue, Bombi, Dushi Dufal, Tanned Buffalo. Welcome, LON Rune Shade. Some of these are also Chapter 2 recruits from our Chapter 2 FC. Rakesh Gent, Soju Drinker, Osaya Aliapo, Joe Chris Odinson. Welcome, Jackson Cho, Arlo Shortwick, Akame Kamado, Peak Gameplay, Loaf Shiranui, Balastra Zahalane, Artist Smith. Welcome, Mika Ringo, Irel Swift. Welcome, Dan Jerzone. Nice name. Reese Laurent, Elisar Galasilian, welcome. Corgan Jirai, Nel Nun, Shigetsu Usagi, Prescott Aurelius, Supa Dude, Prime San, Hikaru Indo, Jimin Yu, or Yo, Kettle Squire, Valterian Vestholt, Sir Humble, Kalar Sharad, welcome Nakihito Kagura, Vatherian Doro, Cheese Borger, welcome Lily Eclipse, Roland Thumrick, Emma Memini. I think I got that one right. Blake Miller, welcome Odoron Gedisud, Synthasia Neptune, Eric Valcrest, Alethea Raven, Bandit Helsing, Nicholas Storm, Ray Zanadu, welcome. Corey Stocksley, Levi Hartfield, Seneko Kamamura, Princess Omnigul, Parsamel Charlador, welcome Argos Alias, Minodora Mochizuki, Sophia Marchand, Nomani Riggs, Demonic Device, Velha Yaga, welcome Patrick Rudolph, Greed Ninix, or Ninix, Liliana Gia, welcome, Chrysanthemum Blood, welcome, Soren Frostar, Kishalig Ka, Kiwi Saki, Alice Frost, Demisa Kitodami, Vicer Exciser, Nayuri Fender, Daboli, Chonk Cove, welcome Psycho Senpai, Bladen Revenancer, Malok Altoi, Malok Altoi, Jovi the Jadara, or Sahadara, Forgive me on that one. Finia Bladointe. Rubber Ducky. Lex Hawthorne. Welcome. Eldritch Massanuel. Wiley Rabbit. Welcome. Tom Lothbrock. Hona Fadach. Kaziel Lightstrom. We had, let's see, Rocco Rakesh, returning Ex Infinitum champion. Welcome back, Rocco. Seven Pendragon. Matthew Newton. Kirin Friday. Freyer Luna. Aaron Valden. And that is about it, I think. Let me double check on that. Want to make sure we got everybody welcomed here. Oh, we got a couple more. Okay. Mint the Conqueror over in Star Citizen. Back to 14. Somnium Khanum. Laura Divania. Christia Rosenvarts. Albert Shadowheart. Mako Strife. Banana Taco. Sapphire Mochi. Kitsune Stellaris. Brescia Ruincaster. Aziel Blackthorn. And let's see, one last list here for 14. Solaris Aluna. Cayman Maharet. Dumpster Fire. Welcome Lemon Tart. Plum Tart. Kariska Drakina. Risaru Zand. Polaris 600. Dark Night Howler. Princess Donut. Brandon Monowis. Aline Holt. Everett Hawthorne. And that is our list in the last 30 days. Welcome, new members of Azure Infinitum across the network. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 90-something% was in 14, but we have, as many know, many Azure wings across the Azure network. We get some new names joining us here and there throughout the month. Many main FC recruits and a good handful of new Chapter 2 recruits as well. Welcome, guys. All right, so first off, we're going to be talking about the state of Azure Infinitum, the current state. Where are we at in August 2026? So as many know, we are a network of multiple guilds across multiple games. Our main core here is in FF14, where we have been since 2014. We do go back prior 1 year to the game's launch, but we were still figuring things out, and Azure was formally founded here in 2014. Prior to that, we do go even further back to FF11, and back to all the way back to 2005 as Somnus Infinitum, going way back. We even still have a few folks from that time that are still with us today, and from all eras of Azure. And you know, we continue to strive to build our wings and our community to be the best it can possibly be for our members. You know, we, the council and I say we, the council and I, and all supporting membership and scouts and support, work very hard every month to try and continue to develop our community to the best of our ability to fit the needs of current players and also new folks who are coming in as well. It's not always common that the top FC or the top guild in a server is so welcoming of new players, and we want to make sure that not only do we serve our in-game players, but we're also serving our newer players and everybody that's kind of in between as well. Very important to us. The more people that we can get caught up, having fun, you know, get their stuff unlocked, whatever is needed, the better. And we see that kind of as a way to invest in the future, as you know, as well as just, you know, getting everybody to have fun, play together. That's what it's all about. So as we provide this, you know, awesome hub here, you know, across Discord, our whole network, our websites and everything, you know, we're always seeking to make the most of this. So right now, that's going very well. We're always kind of in a state of progression. Every month is, you know, there's new things to learn, new things to take on. Sometimes there's new content. Sometimes it's not always in 14. Sometimes or a lot of times really, we're laying the groundwork in the smaller guilds or the smaller wings that we have in other games, as well as adjusting, taking a look at things like events, how are events doing, event attendance. The council and I, we do meet about once a month, and we have our once a month scout meetings as well, or assist meetings. Assist, for those who don't know, stands for Azure Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team, and that's our big support backbone that we have of many scout ranks, scouts, scout sergeants, and scout captains who see to the day-to-day moderation and managing FC chats, other chats, checking for bots in Discord, you know, things to keep an eye out for, member needs as well, and also those who are training to become and who are event hosts, as well as future leadership. as well. So Assist has always got an eye on the community. We've got a very nice, wonderful team. Big shout out to Assist there. We'll be talking about Assist one more time towards the end of the assembly. And overall, we are spread nicely, actually, very organized across both the Infinitum Reserve Core Chapter 2 FC, the Infinitum Reserve Core FC, and Crossworld Link Shell, and the main FC. So, of course, the main FC is where 97% of the activity goes down. We have moved into more official recruitment for Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is actually right around the corner outside. It's at Plot 9. It's a nice little mini Azure hall over there with all the bells and whistles. We mentioned this before in previous assemblies, a couple months ago when we started Chapter 2, but now things are a lot more filled out. It's got, active gardens, submarines, resources, food on the table for people that want free food over there, stuff in the chest. There's some onions, gathering up resources, trying to work on getting that roster to have a little bit more activity. But it currently serves a kind of a niche crowd who either doesn't mind or wants a smaller version, like maybe a more quiet home while they adventure, with just a few people to get to know here and there. I mean, most people want a really active chat. They want to have, like all the bells and whistles of a large FC, and that's what Azure's main FC will always serve. We have no problem keeping a large roster updated. Almost everybody in the 512-man list of current active members in game have been active within the last 2 months. There's only a small handful of that have not been active within 2 months. So the rest are all actually within the last couple of days even. I mean, you can go to page 2 of the FC roster and there's only people who have been off for a couple of days. So very, very, very active FC. And that has contributed greatly to our rankings. The rankings on the lodestone. I always mention this. I mention this every assembly. It's not for any sort of elitism purpose or anything like that, but it's great to share with you guys that we are 1 and 1. Right now it's 1 and 2, but 1 and 2 and 1 and 1, that's always the sort of fluctuation that we see. That's normal. But even last week was a huge week. Checking the rankings, we can see what the what kind of improvements in activity we see based on FC credits. FC credits and lodestone credit. Lodestone credits are generated by FC credits, and those FC credits come from everything that you guys do: leveling, clears, high quality crafts, when you go beat savages, when you go beat your story, when you're unlocking stuff and you're turning stuff into the Grand Company. The biggest one is the Grand Company turn-ins. So highly recommend it because it's good for everybody, and I always preach this. Go to your Grand Company, get to at least 2nd lieutenant rank, maybe 2nd sergeant at the very, very least, I guess I should say. So you can do turn-ins and roll on gear, turn in gear that you don't want, level your retainers, get gear from retainers, turn that in. You're going to have an overwhelming amount of Grand Company seals. You can use those to buy Coke, Glamour Prisms, and other items that are not only good for sale consistently every day, selling on the market board, but you're also contributing to the FC when you get these things as well. So you're making gil, and you're also giving us FC credits, which translate to lodestone credits, which translates to visibility. That puts us high on the rankings. People can see that and they go, well, I want to see what the most active FCs in Midgard is. And then they see us and then they want to join. And it's really nice. Actually, it's a great system. So between your retainers, and then of course when those get high level, they can get venture coppers, which everybody wants. Those are the million guild die boxes and stuff. So really good system. Just a little tip from the master. So again, of course our rankings aren't fully comprised of turn-ins because it actually takes a stupid amount of turn-ins to even push it up that high, which is what some people do that we tend to nickname the boosters. The people who are 8-man FCs that are somehow beating out a 500-man, active machine like Azure, and they're turning in stuff rapidly over the course of 30 days, and they're doing 6 months worth of turn-ins in 1 month, and it's exhausting for them to keep it up, but they do it somehow, and they'll be way up there. And so we can kind of tell very well when we see that, and this is kind of what helps us gauge our own activity, because we go, well, what are we doing that this other one is not doing? I mean, what's this other one doing that we're not, right? We take a look at that and we see, oh, they're 3 people doing tons of turn-ins, and then we go and we look at that and we're like, okay. You can see the individual person stats on the regular Grand Company leaderboards, not the FC rankings. And when you see somebody in the high FC rankings and you compare it to the GC one for individuals, you can clearly tell that one person has an astronomical, ungodly amount of credits. And it's like, okay, we see what you're doing there. And then that's when we share with our people, you know, hey, we're not worried at all. We're actually number one. We don't even consider that, you know, when it's number two. So, number two or number one, but you know, we're grateful to see number one. A lot of number 1, 2, 3, and 4 listings are all very close in credits, so it kind of becomes hard for an FC to climb much higher than that unless you're really doing a lot of extra boosting. So you'll see with the larger pools like the Ether rankings and stuff like that, we're usually in that top 30, but most of them are all super close together. Usually an FC that is actually being relatively like moderately active is going to be around the 10 million credit mark per month. So when we see us floating around 10 to 20 in that range, we're fine. We're fine, and we like to share that with our members and say, good job, pat yourselves on the back, because you know you've been contributing by just being active. And a lot of newer people will say, well, you know, I can't get to the newer stuff yet, or I feel bad because I can't attend everything. And we don't ever want you to feel like that. We want you to know that you should be focusing on your own journey, letting us know when we can help you. And, you know, like mentioning in chat, if someone doesn't get back to you in chat, just remember that there's a lot of times when people are AFK or doing other things or just not looking. And it doesn't always mean that people don't want to play with you. Sometimes it just means that, you know, take a look at the FC window, get an idea, especially if it's late at night, you never know. But you have the whole disposal of assist and counsel at your disposal to message anytime when you really need something. So I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're ignored, because we have a lot of systems in place here. We have a ticket system in Discord. You can submit a ticket to the council and say something like, man, I'm really struggling getting this part of the story done. I need a coach, or can somebody just run me through this because I've tried and the party finder or duty finder people are mean. And like, you know, you can submit a ticket and say, well, I'd really like to know more about DOH, DOL, you know, Disciple of Land and Hand jobs. And I want to know more about crafting and gathering. I want to know, you know, like, okay, well, I mean, that's what we're here for. And we don't really get tickets that often. And we don't really get a lot of people reaching out as much as they could. And I'd love to mention this as well, that the saddest thing that we experience on leadership teams sometimes is when somebody didn't reach out, but they got frustrated and they left us, and we go, oh man, you know, what a missed potential. Like we could have, if we would have known, you know. But a quick message in FC chat that gets buried sometimes is not always going to be enough. Like sometimes you have to take a little bit more initiative and open up the window, find a scout or a council and send a direct tell. And we want you to be direct. Like you got to throw the shyness out the window and just reach out sometimes and just say, hey, I really need this done, because we want to help you at all times. Like we're always here waiting for members to reach out and ask for something. And, you know, of course, there's also times where we could be in the middle of an event, or maybe a lot of people that are on the support leadership team are busy at that moment, but we're always going to get back to you, and we always want you to reach out. So just wanted to highlight that and let you guys know, remind you, we got a lot of new members. We got a lot of new faces. I see some new faces here today with us, and that's awesome. First ever Grand Assembly for you guys is so cool. And, you know, we just want you to know that we're a very active, hands-on leadership team, as well as our scouts, our whole support team, all the scouts, like they take those roles because they care about the FC. They, you know, enjoy helping, and beyond leading events or recruiting, you know, helping each other is like literally the most important thing here. So just wanted to highlight that. Overall, we're not seeing a lot of activity in the Reserve Corps right now. That is our program for getting people into Midgard who are not in Midgard when Midgard is locked, mostly. Midgard does lock often. It actually has been open longer than I've seen it in a couple years, which is really awesome, because the longer it's open, the more new denizens of Midgard Stormer, you know, come to be, and then eventually we meet them. And that's great. That increases the pool for recruitment for months to come. And it's a very, very good thing. But it still can and will eventually lock. And because Ether is and will probably remain popular for a very long time, even before the congestion years that started getting really bad with congestion, it was still very popular. And that's just a lot of it's due to its identity as a rating DC. They are doing the cross DC system for Party Finder here in the coming months. They're testing it. They're going to be rolling it out, I think, through a few different regions first, but I think it's all supposed to be finalized by Evercold in January, so we'll see how that goes. But I think the cross DC Party Finder will eventually dissuade some people from feeling like they need to all transfer to Ether in order just to get raids in the part, raid pops and good PF groups and stuff like that. So it's going to have a long-term thing. It's going to it's going to be a couple years before we see the game even out enough to where Ether isn't getting locked all the time, and it's even very well still could even then, just due to the name being popular alone. So that being said, it's never a bad idea to put some alts over here on Midgard, or maybe you've got a family member, maybe you've got a wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or family member or son or daughter or somebody that might want to eventually join in the fun or come along and be on board with us. The worst thing is when it locks for like 11 months straight and they're locked out for almost a year, and that sucks. So I always like to make a special moment here at the assembly to just remind that that can always happen, and it usually happens on a maintenance. So that's kind of one clue that we have. It's been open for a while now, so I think they got something established for the Switch 2 launch, because that's the way it looks. It's all been open since before. So Switch 2 has brought a lot of people. A lot more than I even anticipated. I think a lot of us didn't anticipate. I mean, it is an entire launch for the game, but it's still a system that we kind of expect less from than PC and, the systems it's already been on for a while. And we saw kind of a rise with Xbox, but I feel like I'm seeing more people on Switch 2 than I've ever seen on any release on console besides the original PlayStation release. So, more than Xbox. It's how I feel right now. So could be wrong, but it does seem, it's pretty big. I mean, it's number 2, I think, on the Nintendo eShop right now. And there's a lot of people who didn't previously play who are brand new, like brand new. If you're new and you're on Switch 2 and you're listening to this, it's a very, very good idea to get yourself a keyboard. You may need to buy a type of attachment that hooks onto the USB or whatever's on the dock to do that, but they're out there. If you just look at Amazon, there's a bunch of them. They're cheap. It makes a world of difference. Even if you don't like keyboards that much and you just want to play with your console controls, that's fine. But a lot of players, once they get a keyboard, they can just attach it when you go to type, or or just leave it up somewhere, and then some of the wireless ones are really nice too. For the first 10 years of the game, I was on PS4, believe it or not. I can't imagine going back now, but I was on PS4, and I had a lap keyboard that just sat on my lap, and I was just type on the keyboard and use my controller and set the controller on my knee and just type. And it's very, very good as an investment. You can even get the ones that fit in between on the controller, like it hooks onto the controller itself if you've got a pro controller. There's all kinds. So I noticed that, we don't mind. It doesn't bother us at all if you're slow at typing, like we've had several recruits where they let me know right away. And I was like, oh, don't worry. I'll just give you all the information. I can see you're just trying to join. You're just trying to play. It's fine. But not everybody always joins VC in Discord. So we also love, getting to know you as well. And we want you to have a good way to communicate. There's also some stuff in the MSQ that makes you type, and it can be kind of annoying to have to do it on the on-screen one every time. So just a recommendation for me. But yes, Switch 2 has brought in a lot of folks. So as you guys have seen, we're back at the cap again. This is starting to become a regular occurrence for us to remain right around the cap. So our assist members, our scouts, do practice what we call roster cap protocol, which is the way we act when roster is capped. So new members from here, when there's 512 in the FC like there is right now, we had 2 spots open today and they both filled as soon as I logged in. And I didn't go looking for them. We had applicants coming in left and right. So when we have an applicant or somebody that wants to join, when we are at roster cap protocol, the message will be given letting them know to keep their app in the box and don't take it out, because space could literally open every day. There's inactives that we remove on a regular basis once they reach 60 days without posting anything in our vacation notice channel. we'll remove. If you're totally MIA and totally unseen or heard of or haven't logged in 2 months, and we don't have any message from you at all, we will remove. So that happens at least once or twice a day. We have a pretty high turnover rate at sometimes. We have a lot of folks that stay, a lot of lifers, a lot of long-term members, but there's always new folks that maybe the game didn't work out for them, or they couldn't afford it, or maybe they just didn't like it, or maybe they just went on a break and they didn't say anything and they get removed. So space does open often, and you want to leave your application in, because as soon as space opens, we're going to reach out to you. We also want people to know that if you put in an application and you immediately go offline, do not expect your app to get processed until we can contact you. It's very rare that we accept an app without immediate contact. We might contact after someone logs back in for the first time, if we're pretty confident that they're logging in and out throughout the day a lot, or if there's somebody that we know, or they know somebody that we know within the community, like we might be more likely to approve an app like that, or one that says that they've seen our community finder and they've already got all that information. So that's even better, because there's less that we have to share with them. So sometimes there will be apps like that when someone's offline, and they'll be either pre-approved, maybe someone we talked to on a previous day and they just didn't apply yet, and that will happen sometimes as well. But we want people to know, if you've got somebody that you say you got a friend that wants to join, or you see an app come in, even if you see an applicant, they're applying. Sometimes they literally physically come to the welcome board outside the FC hall and they're standing there applying. Anyone here, you don't have to be assist or counsel to reach out to that person and just let them know, hey, our FC's full, but space opens every day. Just keep your app in, and somebody's going to reach out to you, whether it's full or not. Or, we reach out. So just because there's been questions about, what do we do when we're full and stuff like that, I wanted to touch base on that today. But that's great. How awesome is that? That's a, like a thing that we're dealing with is, that's awesome. We have so many active members that we had to create roster cap protocol. So there's also chapter 2. Don't forget, members can have up to 2 alts, or 2 characters. I'm sorry. 1 main, 1 alt, or if you have 2 that you consider your mains, whatever, just 2 characters in any Azure FC. So say you've got 4 characters and you've got 2 more characters that don't have a home. You want them to have buffs for when you play them. You want them to have an easy place to teleport that's really close to the Azure main FC hall, right next to a market board and bell. All the, again, I know I said this earlier, but all the bells and whistles of Azure, and you just want to put them somewhere. Chapter 2 welcomes alts as well as members. So member alts and new members are welcome there. So you can technically have 4 characters within Azure Infinitum as it stands, within the main and the Chapter 2 FC on Midgard Stormer. And technically we do have the Reserve Corps FC over on Maduin for those that are waiting to transfer, but like I said, 2 characters per Azure FC. So I've been approached several times in the past month with questions about, hey, I've got 2 more characters, can I bring them in? And our rule is 2 per FC. So I was like, well, there is Chapter 2. It is a good bonus. I mean, we've got not only the new Chapter 2 recruits, but also current members alts playing over there as well. And it's very handy. So just something to think about. So yes, overall, we are going strong. We will talk about a few of the wings later towards the end of the assembly. But in general, the entire network is very strong. We're seeing, improvement in all areas. Some slower than others in some of the wings, but here in 14, we are sitting very well. We are always looking for, folks that want to get more involved. We'll talk a little bit about how to do that towards the end when we do our assist spotlight. But for now, I want to mention what this final quarter of 2026 is going to look like for us. And the road to the 12th anniversary. The 12th anniversary is in November. As some know, we founded November 2nd, 2014. Some of your FC windows, if you're in the Eastern time, will show November 3rd, because that's how late at night it was, that it literally founded in 2 different time zones. Which I didn't know for a few years until someone told me. But we officially picked November 2nd as the official founding day. So November's a few more months away, but we are going to start preparing for that sooner than later. So you'll begin to see 12th anniversary graphics show up around the community, as well as our Discord banner and website. There will be a new 12th anniversary wallpaper featuring the new crests of newer Azure wings that have been added into the list ever since the last year, and a couple that have been retired that will no longer be on the graphic. We have said goodbye to our long-time, nearly 12-year Destiny clan not too long ago, so there will be changes reflected over there as well, also the final 4 months, the final quarter of 2026 is basically going to be a lot of just prepping for Evercold and 14. Working on a little bit more serious recruitment for some of our wings, getting a little bit more life in some of the smaller ones, and working on the needs of the medium to larger ones. And also, like I said, that anniversary coming up in November, we want to also, for the first time, include the wings in some anniversary celebrations. So going to be talking to our wing commanders about best ways we can do that. Maybe do something fun over in Warframe and Star Citizen, maybe in WoW and some other places as well, as we celebrate the 12th anniversary of Azure. Also in November will be Anniversary Azure Day. I'm going to give the date here a little early. That Azure Day weekend, Anniversary 2026, 12th Anniversary Celebration Weekend, will be Saturday, November 28th and Sunday, November 29th. That will be like our special event weekends where we do the really big gatherings, the big photos, the anniversary parade, and a few other real special mini games and contests and events. Kind of like how we've got Summerfest coming up, which I'm about to talk about. But that's going to be fun. And beyond 14, we want to also make it count for our wing members, because we got a good chunk of folks that we enjoy spending time with, also that don't even play 14. They're actually in other Azure Infinitums across the network, so we want to include them as well. So the 12th anniversary is going to be very exciting. The last quarter of the year, next month, we see the Beastmaster release in Final Fantasy XIV. That's coming up. I know we got a lot of people excited for that. Who here is excited for Beastmaster? I know throughout the week I see a number of folks that are, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Johnny's raring to go. I see that. Yep. And it's going to be fun. It looks very solo. We haven't been hands-on with it yet. We've only got what we have been able to see, the info we've been able to glean from Fan Festival, which this last one did show quite a bit during the live letter. I'm not sure. Is there a live letter before then? I don't remember, but I think we've seen quite a bit of it now and what to expect. So I'm not sure how we can utilize that other than just providing like guides and any information that we can share to make it easier, monster locations, strategies, anything like that. We do have our War Room forum channel. That's where a lot of guides are. That's mostly for trials and things, but maybe we can get together some folks that are like really into Beastmaster and hit it real strong at the start of the patch, and I might be able to share some knowledge, because I know we've got so many folks that just blow through stuff within like the first couple days. I'm sure we could get some content out on that, maybe put some stuff up on AzureNet as well to kind of assist you all in making the most out of Beastmaster when that comes out. And even then, there is also the final story chapter for Dawntrail, the part 2 of 7.5. That's going to lead right into the Evercold story, and then quiet until Evercold. It's going to be October, November, and December, and following the holidays, bam, it's going to be there. So we don't have that pre-order information up just yet. We won't know until they announce it officially at either, I'm guessing, Gamescom, PAX, or possibly JP FanFest, although JP FanFest feels a little bit too close to release, but we'll see. I know there was a PAX convention that gave a lot of Dawntrail information last time that led into the pre-order, so that was kind of more of an unconventional thing they did last time. Maybe they'll do that again. We'll see. But going into let's see. We did talk a little bit about the rankings. One thing I didn't mention about the rankings in FF14 is that we have remained so active that we have actually beat the quote unquote boosters. we were so far up there last week, and we've remained really high for a long time. I mean, we've always been, like I said, we've always been in that top list, but it has been really high, like really high activity. So again, that was something that shocked me when I went to go look at it. I was like, wow, we're like higher than high now. Like, that's crazy. Again, congratulations. And again, why we care because this helps us kind of, look at it as a testament, and we track the activity to make sure that, if we do see a drop or something like that, we're going to strategize and kind of try to figure out, why that happened and things. So it does serve to be kind of an analytic thing for us rather than any sort of like, just leaderboard type thing. It's not so much that as it is analytics. So very helpful. Let me see here. So yeah, we had a great celebration of the Azure Sky at the start of August. Or well, actually, that was July 30th. My bad. Right as the month came to an end and we started August, we had that special event there and the recordings that we did. That was really fun. I wanted to thank everybody who came to that, as well as donated to some of those raffles. We had some really nice stuff we gave away during Celebration of Azure Sky 2026. That was event tours that we did, or commemorative tours, like celebration tours. So we went to a lot of different locations that meant a lot to Azure in the past, and currently today as well. Places where we founded. We took everybody who came over to the Council and Alliance Operations Estate. We got to see some Azure event venues, checked out some, Chapter 2 and some other places, and even some locations that people, rarely knew existed, but they were there, as well as some other quirky stories that we shared about places around the FC Hall that have some really funny stories. So that was a lot of fun. Also, as far as our weekly events go in FF14, we have retired Wondrous Wednesdays and Azure Dungeon Delvers Pilgrim's Traverse. This was announced 1 week ago, roughly about a week, I think like 6 or 7 days ago, in announcements channel. But in case you missed it, the events have both run their course. Wondrous Wednesdays, however, has been running since 2015. A long time, 10 years, or 2016, 10 years of events, of doing Wondrous Tales together, getting stickers and stories for Chloe Aliopo in Idleshire. And it was a lot of fun. And back when Wondrous Tales first came out, it was actually a little different just because we only had ARR and Heavensward to work with. So the only unsyncable content in that book was ARR, and it wasn't like a super walk in the park at first, because those primals still, had mechanics and hit hard enough that the early Heavensward gear, we were pretty sure we were going to clear it every time, but it was still, not as like a 2-second clear as it is today. So, it was an event that made it really convenient to have a party for, and people could get in right at level 60, and it was a lot of fun. And, they didn't have to have a lot of stuff unlocked. Like today, you've got to have most of the game unlocked. It scales to what you have, but when you're 100 and you've already been through the game and you pick up a Wondrous Tales book, there's all these other things that you might not have picked up. So we did encounter a lot of nights where people who have used boosts didn't have clears, because we had to go back and clear the story version for them, so we need to get the EX, which wasn't a problem, but it did add to the time of the event. And we encountered some nights too where a lot of people had already done their Wondrous Tales and just only came to help. So eventually, and it's amazing we had so many people coming to help, but the point of it was to get the books done together. So the books are easier than ever now to get done while you're just doing your roulettes and then run a few things that are from it unsynced with a friend. It's kind of got to the point where it finally didn't really constitute having as an event anymore. And so we decided to finally retire Wondrous Wednesdays after 10 years. And the other one, Dungeon Delvers. Dungeon Delvers will no doubt return someday, whether we have a spike in interest in older deep dungeons or we have a new deep dungeon someday. We'll do that. But we did run Pilgrim's Traverse, I think, going back to October. It was very close to when it first came out. And that's almost been a year. That's like 10 months. So That's amazing that it ran that long and did that well. We previously did a Dungeon Delvers back in Shadowbringers, late Shadowbringers, and we didn't do it during Endwalker because the older deep dungeons, we were having either too hard of a time finding interest in Eureka Orthos. Palace of the Dead has always been popular, but even going back to Palace of the Dead, having people keep their POTD save files together kind of became a pain because our events are open invite, show up at the yard, be grouped, and get going, right? We have a 15-minute grouping time. So event hosts will get people together real quick, and then we'll figure out what we need to get ready, and then we'll go. And that became hard to do back in the day. So we were kind of reluctant to even bring back a Azure Dungeon Delvers event, but Pilgrim's Traverse made it a lot more smooth. There was just something about it. Personally, that's my favorite deep dungeon now. I really like Pilgrim's Traverse. There was something about clearing the save file and entering at any stone, any floor, they call them stones. And then everybody there was so much to get from it that even if you were just doing a low level amount of lower floors with people, you still got a lot out of it. So that worked really well for us for a long time. And when we get down to, under 10 people showing up and, barely a light party, then we're like, okay, now it's time to, officially let it go. And what that also does is that also frees up Wednesday nights for us to be able to either put something new there or just have a breather, which is okay too, because we've got like 11 events going on a week. There's only 7 days in a week and there's 11 events on them. So we got a lot going on. I mean, thank goodness we've got so much activity, but it doesn't hurt to have a little break in the middle of the week. And for the first time in 10 years, Azure's got a little bit of a break in 14 in the midweek. So that's been kind of nice. I know it's been nice for me to have that little break as well. And I'm sure our other Wednesday hosts and such appreciate that. Keep in mind, this is just a teaser. It's not set in stone. We don't know until we're in Evercold, but keep this in mind. The advanced raids are coming in Evercold. So that's the tier that's between Savage and Normal. And we will no doubt be having beyond the live stream 8-man Tuesday raid nights, primetime and late night parties like we normally do for the 8-mans. However, Wednesday, the following day, is going to be an open day at that time. That's only 4 months from now. No, it's not 4 months. The raid comes out, I think, a month after, or a few weeks after to a month, I think, from the expansion. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know it'll be close. And that's just like, like I said, that's under 6 months. It's like 5 months or something like that from now. And when that day gets here, we might be able to say Advanced Raid Wednesday or something like that. So there's a thought. There's a thought to look forward to. It's going to be a very attractive tier because it should be slightly easier than an EX, I think they said. That's interesting. With a very similar progression path that's just slightly slower than Savage progression. So very interesting, very cool new way to get that kind of stuff, without banging your head against the wall on super hard stuff that you have to have, regular occurring statics for and stuff. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out. And I know there's a crowd for it because, there's so many percentage people that do normal and savage raids, but there's a percentage in the middle that haven't really been, served in 14, but from the way it seems, from the way they talk. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes and what we might be able to put on Wednesday in the future. For now, it will be having an open slot here in 14 on Wednesday for the foreseeable future. Now, we do have something going on Wednesdays, but not in 14, and that is our Warframe nights. One of the 2 days a week that we have our Warframe clan and community nights. So it's not like there isn't anything going on. We're just going to be having an open Wednesday in 14 for a little while. I am sure that we will eventually have something in that slot, but I don't think we will for the foreseeable months to come, for this year at least. So just to recap before we do our first raffle, we are looking at the final quarter coming up on the 12th anniversary of Azure, wanting to include the wings of that anniversary, wanting to look forward to Beastmaster and the story chapter to come, and maintaining our events throughout the end of the year. Now, once we get the Evercold release date, that'll give us an idea of the weeks prior that we'll start kind of rolling our events out of rotation, which is what we do right before an expansion. This might sound strange, but during expansion launch, everybody and their brother's, grandma's, cousin's dog wants to get through the expansion like right away, like as soon as possible. And it's usually inconvenient for us to run any sort of events during those first couple weeks. And then what we do is we roll them back in based off of what's coming out. So Monstrous Mondays with the learning parties, we'll start doing EX1 and 2 of Evercold not long after Evercold releases, that first early access weekend and launch week. Probably within a couple of weeks of that, we'll see Monmon. And there's going to be more stuff. Maps don't even come out until like a month afterwards. They always come out with the Savage patch. So that's going to be a minute for maps to return next year. But we will know more if, say, it's the first or second week of January. Then we can say, okay, well, close to Christmas is when events are going to start winding down in 14. We're going to get ready for it. We're going to give our logistics team a nice, beautiful 2 weeks of just not even having to worry, about hosting and stuff. And we'll keep some stuff going, like maybe there'll be some that go a little longer than others. But 24-man raid nights and things like that, they will start let me resay that. They will start to diminish in interest as well, because everybody's going to have those coins aplenty, and we've kind of already made a change to 24-man nights already. We have taken Party Finder grouping out of the equation, which is very useful for the beginning of the 24-man events when they're new, because we need to be able to get parties together. And for those that are new here, yes, we do have full Azure 24-man parties that we do for those raid nights, and they're very, very fun. VC is awesome. Sometimes it's hilarious and chaotic. It's also full of call-outs as well for when things get tough. But since we're a couple months into this one now, we've taken PF grouping out of the equation again, as we usually do when we get to the third raid, after it's been out for a while. And we're doing traditional standardized grouping, which is 8-man groups in the yard. And if there is a third one that's needed, then so be it. But that actually makes it go faster because, as it starts getting to this point in previous weeks, not this last Tuesday, but prior, our attendees start to notice that it takes a little longer to fill, and we don't want to make them wait. So that is another nice change that was announced this past week to the 24-man events being standardized and much faster. We were actually ready within a few minutes and just waited it out a little bit to see if anybody else was coming for like 10 minutes, and then we ran, and we were golden. So that worked very, very good. Thank you to those who are there that come to that and help support and help run extra parties. Really appreciate it. So that's definitely going to be faster grouping from here. So in the next so many months, you'll kind of want to expect to see things not really slow, because there's no new patches past the Beastmaster one. Azure has a tendency to really weather the pre-patch lulls that come around really well. So, there's a lot of energy to be felt when things are new, right? But when we're all waiting for the next big thing, a lot of FCs and a lot of communities tend to start getting really slower chat. A lot of people not talking as much, just kind of getting their business done and then logging off. And you'll see a little bit of that as we get closer to the expansion, maybe in December, especially with the holidays too. I mean, that's understandable, right? But you're gonna not expect to see that like you see in other FCs. There's still gonna be special event weekends like our anniversary stuff coming up. I think there's definitely stuff every month to look forward to. October, we've got the Saints Wake stuff going on. November's all month of November is anniversary. And December is Starlight Day at the end of the year, and we want to do a very special glam contest for Starlight Day this year. So stay tuned for that announcement in the future. Hint, hint. So without further ado, we're going to take a short break and do a flash raffle, our first raffle. I'm going to move my character to the front of the room so I can get everybody's numbers. Surprisingly, the room is longer than Say Chat can actually show. So I want to make sure I can see you all. So, flash raffle. If you are on Twitch, please put in a 3-digit number in the chat if you'd like to enter. You have to have an active FF14 subscription and be able to come and trade me whenever you can get on next if you're not online now. If you are in Grand Assembly VC, the same rules apply. Put a 3-digit number in the Grand Assembly VC chat. And if you're here with us in game, please /random for a random roll. I will be rolling Reika's number here in just a moment. We'll see who's closest. Closest number to mine will win a very nice prize from the Azure prize pool. We had a lot of stuff to talk about today, so I appreciate you all sticking with me here. Love seeing all of our new members here with us today. It's awesome. So if we have any present council that wants to join the stage as well, just raise hand anytime and I can pull you up here. So just a couple minutes for the raffle, and we'll enter phase 2 announcements. I had a little bit more to announce at the start of our assembly this time than usual, but it'll be kind of shorter in the middle. All right, we got a lot of numbers coming in here. Let's see, Twitch, Grand Assembly, VC, and in-game. Let's take a look here. Well, yeah, good range of numbers all over the place. No zeros this time. You can indeed roll a 0. It is possible. Look at that. We got a lot of new names. That's awesome. So good to have you guys. Just answering Shigetsu's question in VC chat there. The Twitch channel is linked in the announcements for the assembly. It's it's under a name that I go by everywhere else. Reika's my character, but I go by Kazu personally. Kazushime Hikaru is a name I've worked under for a very long time. So it's Twitch TV. Let me see here. Let me update this. I'm going to give you the wrong information. Twitch.tv. Almost said .com. Glad I updated it. Twitch.tv/Hikaru_Kazushime. And if you want to know how to spell that, that's in it's linked in the posted announcements. Kazushime, Hikaru_Kazushime. Kazushime is a very old last name that I made up because I used to have one to go with Hikaru. Hikaru is a nickname I've had since child, actually. I had friends who told me that my personality was bright and shining, and Hikaru means light and shining in Japanese. It shares the same kanji with the Hikari kanji, so Hikari, Hikaru. And I didn't like the other name I used back on MySpace with my Hikaru name, and so I made a new one, and I liked the name Kazu. A lot of people were calling me Kazu for a long time as a short version of Kazushime Hikaru, so that's just stuck. It stuck, and the old site was Run Around Kazu, which had all of our event coverages and old guild stuff, and Run Around Kazu became Run Around Network, and Run Around Network became Azure Net. A little backstory there. Okay, guys, let's see the results here. Last chance /random now, or put a 3-digit number in any of the chats here. If you have not entered yet, you've got 5 seconds. Very nice, Shigetsu. That's awesome to know. Okay, here we go. Gonna call time. Okay, here it is. Drum roll. 13. How did I roll a 13? What the heck? Okay, who's the lowest? Let's see. We got... Oh boy. Okay, so nobody on Twitch for that one. Grand Assembly chat. Let's see. I'm sure there's a lower one. There is lower ones in game. Okay, so in game there is a 52. Any other lowest ones here? 52. 52 might be it. I think 52. 52 from Kiwi Saki. I don't see, just double checking here. Yes, I don't see any other thing that is close to, no other entries that are close to 13. So, Kiwi Saki, congratulations. come up and trade me if you would. Let me see. That, oh, yeah, that's you. Okay. Congratulations on your brand new Puny Mage and a Kazushime mount. And if you already have them, they sell pretty well on the market board. So it's a nice prize either way. Congratulations. All right. These are double prizes today, folks. So stay tuned. We got another 2 raffles after this, after the next announcement phase. Like I said, announcement phase 2 will be shorter than phase 1. So congratulations. Congratulations. Like I said, if you don't have those, they're actually very cool. Puny Mage is a really cute little new minion that came out with the current patch, and the Kazushime actually takes 3 Twilight gemstones from the depths of one of the map dungeons in Dontrell to collect from bosses down there, and then you get that. It's a cool little shiny dragon thingy. Okay, yeah, you're very welcome. All right, phase 2 announcements. So, obviously, we cannot hold this assembly without talking about Azure Summer Festival 2026. I know quite a bit of people have checked out the post at this point. They've seen the announcements. They have seen the daily reshares I've been doing across the network, showing, you know, that awesome list of events that are coming up. I wanted to kind of go over those today because last assembly that was not out yet, and a lot of it is still really fresh, and there's been a few updates. So if you've checked it before, you might want to check it again. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on at Azure Summer Festival. So Summer Festival is our biggest event of the year, taking place in Final Fantasy XIV. We host a very large variety of minigames, contests, races, game shows, tournaments, raffles, giveaways, parades, you name it. Over 3 days. At the end of August every year. In the past, we haven't had a couple 2-day ones, but they're almost always 3-day because they're meant to stand out from our normal Azure Day weekends that we do, which are the other quarterly celebrations, which also have a lot of fun events that are very similar. They have flash raffles, just like the one we just did, but they're all throughout the day and just about almost every hour, I think, and sometimes more than that, even during the events. So there is a ton of stuff to win during those. There's also the golden flash raffles, which give out 1 million gil at a time. And anybody that is there for those has a chance to win that. 2026 Summer Festival events are put together for the FC members, Alliance members, and community members. Friends are welcome to visit, but remember that these prizes are for members of Azure, and that goes for any version of Azure. So if you're Chapter 2, Main FC, Reserve Corps, anything like that, if you're a community member in our Discord and you've got a 14 role and you want to come over and hang out, spend time with us, you're also welcome there too. We have a lot of donations. We can always use more, so that way we can give out even more awesome stuff. Prizes, gil, auction items are also welcome. We do 2 different auctions on Summerfest to earn more gil for the FC. We're working on a lot of projects right now. So we've got some big background projects, gardening projects, submarine projects. We're saving up to do a big thing where when the raids come out in Evercold, we want to provide as much crafted gear as possible for those raids when that comes out. So, all this stuff plus the bigger events coming up, like the whatchamacallit, the Starlight Day, Azure Saints Wake, and the 12th anniversary. Those are just like 4 days of mega event giveaways between October and December. We want to have good funding. So not just donations for Summerfest, but any donations at all in the chest go a long way. I know there's 300 mil in there right now, but we invest like 40 mil a pop, if not more than that, for some of these. We actually invested like somewhere around 100 mil or more for the last Glamour contest alone. So yeah, pretty big stuff going on. So donations are always welcome. Tab 4 is always welcoming any like nice minions, mounts, hairstyles, glamours, fun stuff that anybody would like to donate. Something that would be good for a prize, not a little cheap Grand Company random box, like a blind box minion that costs like 200 gil, please. we've had our fill of stuffed alphas as well showing up in the FC chest. And I think we're good on those. It's a thought that counts, though, but still. Yeah, just don't forget to check our chess rules. We do have some chess rules. So we're going to be kicking off Summerfest this coming Friday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. It's going to start off with an opening ceremony, talking a little bit about Summerfest, and this just happens to be the 10th anniversary of Summerfest. This is the 10th year we've done this. Every summer for 10 years we've done this. Huge mega events in the middle of the year. It's Azure's Gem of the Summer, as some call it. We will be doing what we call the raffle kickoff. So the raffle we just saw, we're going to be doing that constantly for at least 30 minutes, starting at the beginning of Summerfest. We're going to have a good 20, 30 minutes of gathering up and talking about the event and what's going on, followed by the final half of the opening ceremony will be just nothing but raffles. Golden raffles with the Million Gil giveaway, as well as the, giveaways, plural. As well as all the items. So the opening ceremony kickoff is going to be awesome. It's an explosive way to start this thing off. Then following that on this coming Friday, there's going to be Parkour Panic, the return of Parkour Panic. So climbing and racing your way through several parkour maps that we've went out into the world and picked. Some of them are things that some people might know, and some of them are lesser known from the depths of like either our own creativity or really ancient Reddit posts that everyone's forgotten about that have really fun, like little puzzles. And just keep in mind that all of this is designed to take place in A Realm Reborn. So that means that all of you, no matter where you're at in the game, you are able to attend this stuff. You are able to come to anything that we host for Summerfest. So the entire weekend you can access no matter where you're at in the game. Need for Speedgens is another fun ARR unsynced groups of 2 speed runs. It's an elimination tournament, so we gather in a spot where we can see all the teams, and as they come out, the final one to come out of the dungeon at the end gets eliminated. So that's really fun. Puts a lot of pressure on the other teams as they're like, oh man, I don't know where the other teams are at, and it's very fun. We so far now, just one more thing to note, we might be updating the prize lists because we've returned to putting the prizes ahead of time. Like sometimes it's a surprise. This time, it's not so much as a surprise as it is something to kind of like keep in mind, like, hey, there's a guild prize, but also we're giving away this. So the official guide actually has the list of prizes we're giving away already. But those prize lists are actually going to be updated by the time we get there because we're still taking in donations and stuff like that. So this is what we have so far. Everybody that is in the first and second team of Speedgens will get a Figmental Weapon Coffer and a very nice guild prize. That's just to start. We may even be increasing that. Following that, we have the Azure Summer Festival auction number 1 at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern on Friday. There was some feedback on the auctions being a little too late last time, and we've had different summer festivals and Azure Day weekends where we've had them earlier. We split them into 2. We had some that were cheap items, some that were expensive items. Now we kind of found our flow with it, and we kind of want to have at least 2 because people really enjoy the auction, and we don't want to host it when everybody's dead tired and about to go to bed on the last day before a work day or something. So, like before a Monday or whatever. So Friday, there's an earlier auction, and if you can't make it there because that's too early, there's another one on another day, and we'll talk about that in a sec. Our auctions are donated items, unclaimed prizes, and stuff that was specifically donated for the auction to raise gil. No matter what the value is, even if they're a 50 mil gil item, it will be beginning with a 20k bid. So there's a lot of opportunity here. Now, here's the other thing too. What if people attend the auction who have limitless pockets? Well, that's not so fun, right? They could buy everything. Well, we have a limit, 2 million gil. That's all. 2 million gil and you're out. Everything's meant to go for, pretty cheap, but also still raise money for Azure. So the nice thing is that you can do something called limit break. And limit break means you can bid however high you want, but only one time. So that's a lot of fun. We've had some items that were like mystery grab bags that went for like 50 mil before, including the legendary zoo horn. If you know that story, that's a good one. Those zoo horns are still going today, even. I would love to tell that story, but that'll cut into way too much time here. We also have the normal Friday event. Some people also asked, will we still be doing normal events during Summerfest? One of them. Friday, Field Op Night. Field Op Friday's Crescent Crusade at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern next week will not change. That will still take place. So come along for the Occult Crescent Dawn Trail Relic event, where we start off, doing fates and critical encounters. Yes, I know I did say everything during Summerfest was ARR related, but I wasn't counting the normal weekly event. I was counting all of the regular Summerfest events. I did put the Crescent Crusade thing in the program for Summerfest because that's going to happen no matter what, and I might as well put it there so everybody knows why there's not a giant gap between 6 and 10 Eastern. So later, after the Friday event, we have, for the end of that first night, what we call Summer Saucer Night. So how often do you see free companies going to the Gold Saucer and having fun together? You might see a friend or two, doing some things there. But what about a giant group of just crazy people doing raffles in the middle of all this stuff going on, and gates and fun things going on there? That's what we're doing for Summer Saucer Night. So, come, hang out, finish off the night with some gates, farm some MGP together. There will still be flash raffles going on during Summer Saucer Night that you can catch at the Gold Saucer while we do some gates together. And how fun would it be to see a big FC group doing some of these, slices right challenges, or maybe Any Way the Wind Blows, or some of the other gates? It'd be really fun to see a big group of us doing that. So that's something we only do once a year at the Gold Saucer, Summer Saucer Night. Now, next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, I should say, 1 week from today, the big middle day of Summerfest, that is going to start off with an event called Azure the Gathering. Great name, huh? That's a gathering challenge where we have an entire set of crested gathering gear, including or crafted or gathering gear, including the HQ main and offhand sets of your choice. Or if you already have a crested set and you don't want another one, 2 million gil. Either way, per winner. And we're going to have 3 winners for Azure the Gathering. This is a gathering race. Miners and botanists are welcome. Sorry, fishers, not this time. Join us for a gathering endurance challenge where contestants will be given a location and an item to gather based on the job that they bring. It will be an ARR zone. You will have 50 minutes to gather as many of that item as possible. Now, just keep in mind that there is no restriction on level here. So, a newbie gatherer can join, but you might get toasted by a level 100 pro. So, enter at your own risk there, but still come. I mean, you never know. You never know how many we're going to have, or, there could be like 2 gathering pros and 1, mid-level gathering person that still gets third prize and still gets 2 million gil out of it. So you never know. But there's always stuff going on. There's, there's flash raffles too. So, give it a shot, or maybe unlock gathering now, go ham and be ready and show up all, swole with your axe and everything, ready to chop some wood and enter Azure the Gathering on next Saturday. We've also got our very popular hide and seek elimination challenge coming up next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. That's something we often call hide and seek on crack, because it starts off with one person seeking, and every person that gets found gets added to the seekers until the last person is like sweating and, hearing footsteps. the last couple people. And when finally there's one person left that we confirm is the last one, we'll go and we'll see their location. And man, is it entertaining, because sometimes the locations that win are hilarious. And don't worry about the size of your character. We've had Lalafels and Rogadins win this before alike, and everybody in between. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We usually have enough time to do a 1 game in Mist, and then we have another match that we do like somewhere out in the world, somewhere in a city state or something. So very funny. I've seen people hide in plain sight, put on a GC uniform and stand in between other Grand Company guys. I've seen someone dress up in noob gear and just walk around acting like they're accepting newbie quests, and they won. We do the names off and all that, so that makes it very fun. We've also got the Azure Summer Festival Parade. We can't have a summer festival without a classic Azure parade that we're known for. We're known for our parades. We got some pretty good parades. Our parades have a unique flair to them. They actually have parade stops where we actually stop at different pubs and different establishments across Eorzea. We might stop at the Drowning Wench in Limsa, or we might stop at Beskar and Scar in Southern Shroud. You know, but overall, when we do those stops, one, very cool to see those places populated with a whole ton of FC members. Also, the flash raffles, very, very, very fun. You know, you get a second, you can, you know, run to the restroom, get some water, come back, enter a raffle, and then the parade continues. One of the best things about the parade, we even got one of our lieutenants here that was recruited this way. When a parade goes by and you just see a random person just stare, and they're like, "What is that?" And then you see the FC tag disappear, and an application comes into our box because they see the sea of blue going by, and they're just like amazed. Like, it's a lot of fun. You never know. Bring some fireworks, get ready to, you know, wave at people, make explosions, whatever, to wish everybody a happy summer, and maybe win some prizes during the parade, festival parade RP walk and pub crawl raffle off. That's at 3:30 Pacific on this coming Saturday, 6:30 Eastern. Following the parade, we're going to have our first big summer beach party and 2026 commemorative FC group photo op of the weekend. There will be 2 photo ops during this weekend. One that's a little bit more formal with the FC tabards, which will be available, and then the one that's the Summerfest beach themed one will be Saturday at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. So there will be a gathering at Costa del Sol with flash raffles at the Flying Shark. That's the small little establishment that's right there by the Aetheryte. We hang out there for a little bit. It's actually pictured on the program guide there, right above where it says Summer Beach Party. And then following raffles, we will group right on the beach for a large free company group photo op. Bring something blue, something festive. If you don't have either, you can also wear the tabard, the official uniform, if you want. We'll also have a normal uniformed photo op the following day. We got a lot of folks that have been wanting one of our big scheduled FC photo ops. So, you know, maybe it's your chance to get in one of our big group pictures. And then following that, we've got the amazing Azure Riddle Race returning. We haven't done that in a long time. So 3 individuals who are the winners, the ones that make it to the end, will all get 5 million gil apiece. The riddle race starts off with a riddle given at the FC Hall, and then you're going to follow that to find other Azure members that are out in the world hiding in spots that the riddles relate to. When you find them, they'll give you an item, and then you want to collect those items, bring it to the end, find the person at the end. That person will ask for those items, and if you're one of the first 3, you'll get 5 million gil and win the riddle race. Those are real fun. We've done those a lot in the past, and we haven't done it for a couple years, so we'll see how that goes again. Azure Summer Festival option number 2, taking place next Saturday, 6:45 Pacific, 9:45 Eastern. That's the later one. Like I said, we'll be doing the earlier ones and the later ones. Again, it's the same thing, but more items to bid on for our later night crowd. And those that are there. And then finishing off Saturday, returning to Summerfest, is our game of musical chairs. Musical chairs is actually doable in Final Fantasy XIV, believe it or not, and it's worked out really well in the past. So if you know General Ume over here, my nice little helper, her private chambers is going to be converted into a musical chair room. General Hakachi will hit the orchestrion, signaling players to walk the circle of chairs until, you guessed it, the orchestrion turns off. Everyone will scramble and have to find a chair quickly and sit as fast as possible, with one chair being eliminated at a time. We'll be playing a couple rounds of this because it does kind of go rather quickly, but we'll have rewards for the winners that get the final chair. Those will be a lot of fun. Just a little something to finish off the night there. And lastly, the second biggest day of Summer Festival is Sunday. This coming, not tomorrow, but this coming Sunday. And yes, I do have tabards. Tabards will be available during Summerfest. The whole weekend we'll have the FC tabards. It's a very nice official. It's from the game. It's their official uniform for FCs. Spin is displaying it right now. Thank you, Spin. Right in the front. So it's really nice. I'm going to zoom in for the stream. So you see it's got a nice FC crest on the front. And on the back, Let's see if you can see it from here. Right there. Big FC crest on the back. Very, very nice. Let me see. Could you rotate spin? Do you mind? Might be easier for me. Yeah, there we go. Oh, awesome. Okay, you're awesome. So nice Azure crest on the back, little Azure crest on the front. They come pre-dyed and authored blue and black. That's our classic look there. And that is the official company jacket. So there's a full company uniform that involves some GC gloves and boots and a hat, but the main jacket is the main thing. Rakvasha also displaying as well for us here. Very nice. And when we do our big photo ops where everybody's wearing those, they look so cool. They're super uniform and just look awesome. So we'll be doing that for our second day photo op as well. But that is the company tabard. They are very expensive. They're like $2 mil a pop, and they take rare leather that you can only get from airships. So we store a lot of this stuff up in order to give them out during these events. That way everybody gets one. And everybody gets one. It should have either mine or whoever helps craft them's name signed on it on the tooltip, and then they will come in the authored blue. And you can crest your gear. You can get that crest. They come blank because you have to crest it yourself, but the crest is done at the Maelstrom because that's the GC that Azure is allied with. So you go to Limsa's aft castle, take a left into the Maelstrom, and another sharp left. It's the guy who's behind the other guy next to the FC chest in the Maelstrom. There's Darnile. That's what a blank tabard looks like right before you get it crested. So they look nice either way, whether you want the crest on them or not. But you can add the crest to a lot of gear. Gear comes with a kind of predetermined slot for it. You don't really get to decide where the crest goes. But it's really nice with the tabard because the tabard is the only item in the game that actually has that big of an FC crest on it besides the company shield. But we want to make sure that everybody who wants tabards gets them. And again, like I said, they're a pain in the butt to get, but we save them up just for this. So happening on Sunday, we're going to kick off Azure Summer Festival Sunday, August 30th, with a darts game. Darts stands for Diving at Random Target Scenario, and this was a Elimination Summer Tournament version. Diving at Random Target Scenario, or darts, D-A-R-T-S, is a special game where we jump from a certain location and land at a target. And it's really funny when we get a lot of people doing it because it's like a bunch of bodies just raining from the sky, and you hear them all snapping their legs and falling and screaming at the same time. It's hilarious. And we do that. We fling ourselves at goals to win stuff. So, you know, it's wonderful. There will be a location announced in the chat at that time. And again, remember, we're including the Reserve Corps and Chapter 2, so it will be very clear across the whole, you know, the whole network in 14 where to go and how to get involved. And you just go to the location. We've got distance jumps, bullseye jumps, and we've got what was the other one? Precision jumps as well. So precision might be like land at the right spot of this one line. You know, the other one is don't overshoot it, land in the bullseye. And it's so clever because the bullseye one is actually a fire pit that looks a lot like a bullseye from the top of the White Brim Tower in Kurthus. So, and everybody will have a chance to get there. There'll be plenty of time to make it. Just make sure that you know when these things happen. If not, then just watch the FC chat in game. We want to get everybody that wants to play it. Darts is a rather quick game. It's usually over within about 30 to 45 minutes. And it's elimination too. So even if you don't do the best at it, you might not be eliminated. There might be somebody who does worse than you. So, yeah, exactly. Let the bodies hit the floor. And the contestants that remain, the top 3, will actually get prize minion sets. So these aren't going to be like cheap minions. These are going to be nice minions. That if you already have them, you can sell, get some good gil off of. You can return them to the auction if you want them, if you don't want them. But they're going to be a nice set of prize minions. Instead of just getting 1 minion a piece this time, we're giving a whole prize set. So should be, you know, somewhere about 3 to 5 nice minions a piece for your collection. We want to kind of prioritize the newest stuff first, because that's going to be more likely that people don't have those things. And also those things could be really expensive. So again, we have, you know, we're a wealthy FC. We're able to provide some nice stuff. So our triple triad tournament, this is something that we've had a couple times a little late at night. So we're going to put the triad tournament a little earlier on Sunday, just before our Chocobo races. And I can hear people already saying, well, I'm not great at Triad, and the thing is, maybe you don't have all the cards. We play a reverse rule. That means the weakest cards become the strongest cards. So if you come to our Triad tournament, we actually have a triple Triad battle hall of our own built over at Plot 2 in Ward 27 at the Azure event venue. And over there, you can find our Triad tables where we host our tournament, and we're going to be playing there for 2 million gil for the runner-up and tournament winner. Maybe a couple extra special prizes as well for the first place prize. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So reverse rules, we'll see how it goes. Maybe include sudden death if we have too many people with really good low level decks. Even the starter deck is strong in this version. And of course, after Triad, we're doing what we call the Azure Summer Festival Shells Memorial Chocobo Summer Grand Prix. I know it's a long name, but the Chocobo Memorial Grand Prix, a longtime supporter, not so much an in-game member, but a very, very long-time background supporter, was Shells, aka Shells Rocks, was my mother, who passed away in 2023. Her favorite event of Summer Festival to watch every year was the Chocobo races. So it was a very big event back in 2023. She passed away. The FC was amazing and created a vigil across the entire Costa del Sol beach with the little fire pits and candles and stuff. And it was very heartwarming and will always be remembered. She has the little fountain gravestone in the back of the FC Hall, and is one of the 4 gravestones of 4 people that we've lost. That's over at Plot 11. If you go to 11, there's a graveyard there. Those are just to remember our fallen by. Some of them are in the roster listed as in memory. But for Shells, for my mom, we dedicated the Summer Chocobo Grand Prix. It was the last Azure event she was actually able to hang out, and she would pop into Discord, chat with people. There's a lot of folks that kind of remember her still. And she was always super supportive. And for me to be able to do this for Azure and with all of you guys, I needed a strong support in real life, and she was that for a very long time. So that event, that race, is forever dedicated to our strong supporter, who I also called my senior advisor. Reika's senior advisor. So following that, and of course there's going to be prize minion sets and millions of gil for our first, second, and third jockeys that win. And also, one more thing about the Chocobo race, we actually had a trophy made or decided upon years ago, back when it was really expensive. It was the Carbuncle trophy, and those things are really cheap now, but we still use one to kind of remember like the first Azure Cup that we used to hold for Chocobo races. So along with the millions of gil and the prize minions, we'll also be giving out a specially crafted Carbuncle trophy to the winning jockey as our Chocobo race champion jockey there. And of course, another returning big event that has a lot more, I don't want to say a lot more, but it has significant effort put into it, we'll put it that way, is Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire? How many people here are familiar with the game show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You have anybody that's watched it back in the day with old Regis? The whole, is that your final answer game? If you guys remember that one. Yeah, okay, we got a few people cheering and raising hands, yeah. So the thing is we have a Gillionaire game that is very, very similar, but has kind of takes the game to a whole nother level. There are lifelines like you wouldn't believe. Limit Break, Ask the FC, Tell a Friend. There's a whole bunch of different ones that we have prepared to make this game even more exciting than the game show. And we even build an in-game game show set for it, complete with audience chairs and the 2 classic hot seats that are used in the show itself. There will be tiers of 15 questions for those that are able to enter. Entries will be decided via random rules for those who want to play. We will try to get through as many games of it as possible within a 2-hour time slot. So we should be able to get through at least a good handful of games. We want to bring this back too for the anniversary stuff. So it won't be the last time we're doing it, of course. We'll be doing it again. But this can be really popular, and it's also very fun to watch. Some people don't want to enter because the trivia, might be intense for them, but But watching is also very entertaining as well. I mean, it's entertaining for me to host it as well, so it's fun. And we actually do this complete with lights and sound because everybody knows that Gillionaire, or the millionaire game, I should say, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in real life, was complete with really epic sound and lights. So you get in the hot seat, we start asking questions, and the lights go down low. You get that drum beat in the background, and it kind of puts on the the intensity a little bit. There's a lot of that's gone into the production of us doing this. So I think we'd also like to stream this too. It would be really cool. And we haven't done this in a couple years, so we're bringing it back. So I think 2023 was the last Gillionaire game we did. We also used to do Gillionaire hard mode, which was really, really, really tough. But just remember, even if you're a little intimidated by this and you might want to try it, the lifelines are meant to help you. There's 50-50 that removes 2 of the 4 options for the multiple choice. But our goal here is to give away not 1, not 2, but 10 million gil to our winners. So you might want to give it a shot. And also, if you lose during Gillionaire and you've already crossed a checkpoint, you still walk away with a crap load of gil at the checkpoints. So it's very worth it, even if you lose halfway through. Now, following that big mini game, we've got the long-awaited Azure Grand Duel Tournament 32. This is the 32nd edition of our Grand Duel Tournament at Wolves Den Pier. The epic 1v1 PvP event returns. Come along to either spectate or enter, as this is not instanced, it's something that everybody can watch, or compete for a minimum of 5 million gil. That's the start of the prize pot. The prize pot has already grown beyond that, so I need to update this this post. And compete for exclusive company credit prizes, as well as the prestigious Infinitum Championship. This means that our tournament victor will get the chance to fight for the Infinitum Championship and claiming the title being immortalized on their champions page at azureinfinitum.com/champions. We have an entire Hall of Fame, you could say, of the past 10 years of champions who won our tournament or defended their titles. Now, the other thing too that's cool is not only do you get immortalized on that page with a listing showing that you won our championship PvP tournament, but you also get a special rank in Final Fantasy XIV that says champion, and it will match the permissions of whatever rank you have. So if you're a member, you will be a champion member. If you're a scout, you'll be a champion scout, and so on and so forth. And it will actually highlight you on the Lodestone roster higher in the list to give you that nice little spotlight showing that you're our champ. Now, if you're our champ, you may be asked to defend your title as well in future tournaments, the next one being the anniversary tournament in November. So you'll get to reign for a couple months, come along to Super Azure Slayer Sunday PvP events if you want and show it off and be like, yeah, the champ is here. And here's the best part. This is very rare, guys. Our championship is vacant. That means not only will the tournament victor get the prize pool money, but they don't have to face a champion this time to win the belt, or the title, I should say. The title is completely vacant. So our tournament victor will become the next Infinitum champion without having to have a best of 5 championship match. Now, there are some rules. This is a DPS tournament. There is a list of stuff on there's a whole rules list on the Summer Festival program post that's on our website. So be sure to check that out. I'm not going to read down that whole thing right now because I've got to hurry. We've got limited time. But please check into that. There will be a special post about this also made to kind of highlight it as well before we get there. But yeah, this is a DPS tournament, and it's going to be insane. It's a lot of fun to watch. Even if you're not into PvP, you can come root for your favorite, fellow Azure community member. This is open to our Reserve Corps, our Alliance, our Chapter 2, and original main FC, and it's the whole Azure community. So, come along, enter the tournament, have some fun. It's going to be a blast. We got a lot of people already, talking and saying, that they're ready to come win the championship and everything. So, and it's vacant. So it's a great time to become the next champ. Now, following the tournament, that's not all. There's a little bit more. We've got the Azure Summerfest 2026 Glam Contest and Masquerade. This is going to be like a cosplay slash glamour show. We're going to have our traditional catwalk stage that we have down in the basement of Ward 2, Plot 27 of Mist. You can actually go see it now if you want to go see what it looks like. The glamour show with the contest and fashion display will be held at the event venue, where participants will gather at the cafe outside as we're getting ready, and those who want to walk the catwalk can assemble at the dressing room downstairs backstage. Once we take all the names of all the entries that are in the dressing room at that time, we will commence the show and commence the contest, and behind the dressing room there's a hallway that leads up to the back of the stage, and I'll be calling out one person at a time. You'll have a minute or so to come out. If you've got a skit, skits are welcome. Skits are like when people put together elaborate glamour shows that have text involved, or maybe they're a character from an anime and they want to do a scene, or something like that. Those are skits. Everything is judged based off of aesthetic, attention to detail, wow factor. There's a lot of ways that we judge this, and there will be we usually do 2. There's going to be 3 prize places this time. So 5 million gil and a glamour prize set featuring some of the latest glamour in the game for the first place prize. Second place prize will get 2.5 million gil and a glamour prize set, and third place 1 million gil and a glamour prize set. Everybody walks away with glamour prize sets of latest glamour and lots of gil for the first 3 places, for first, second, and third place. And of course, this is a summer tournament as well, so you are recommended to maybe bring something summer themed, or a summer version of a character. Might be cool. Hosts are going to be kind of looking for that, as well as the normal things that we judge by, because this is a special summer tournament, so keep that in mind. Then finally, to end Summerfest, we will have a final Summerfest commemorative free company photo gathering at 7:30 Pacific this Sunday, or this coming next Sunday, the 30th, and that'll also be at 10:30 Eastern. So that's the one that we're going to have a either something festive or a company tabard. We also do the beach party the day prior, so we should see a lot of folks in something like, maybe you've got an Azure glam, like let's take Aslan, for example, here to Reika's right. That's his Azure glam. He's got a known glam that he wears that is blue and gold and black, and he's just always known for that. Like maybe you've got one like that, or like Reika's glam that you always see her in, Paladin. If you've got a favorite Azure glam, a company tabard, or something festive, feel free to come along. This is the Summerfest photo gathering. It's really nice when we get a lot of people in tabards, though, but again, this being the special summer edition. And then, of course, we're not going to close Summerfest without doing something big, so we're going to have raffle-offs and a closing ceremony. And some of these closing ceremonies have been really heart-filled before. We've had folks sharing how they felt about the weekend, maybe talking about something that they thought could have been better, or something they really liked and they want to let us know. And then, of course, the raffles, we go crazy with those to kick off the end of Summerfest. And that is the weekend that we have to look forward to less than 1 week from now, starting this coming Friday. So that's a lot of stuff going on. We got a mega weekend of stuff coming up. So really, really hope to see as many of you that, want to come along and join in the fun. Don't feel pressured to join everything. It's a full weekend of stuff, hour by hour. It is how long is this? This is like almost 30 something hours of event time over 3 days. So that's like almost a month's worth of Azure events or like half a month's worth of Azure events in 3 days. So very, very awesome. It's a mega festival that we're having. So a lot of work goes into this. So I really hope to, see a great turnout. And I know the council and others are looking forward to this as well. So maybe our new members, if you've never seen anything like this before, this is something we're really good at doing, is putting these big event weekends together. A lot of FCs don't, they might have a glam contest once in a while, or maybe a parade or something here and there. But we go all out for this. We want to make sure that not just trying to to do it better, but we're trying to include as many people that want to see something like this, you know? I mean, when do you walk around Thanalan and see like 50 people, you know, marching together for their free company? You know, that's the kind of stuff that some of us like, you know, if you watched like MMOs, like anime MMOs or something like Sword Art Online or something, you know, you kind of dream of seeing that stuff in game. You're in that FC right now. Like you are in that place that does that kind of stuff. Big tournaments, big glamour shows, parade marches. We do this stuff and you're here, and we also like to, you know, give back. So we're thankful for your attendance and want to give back Gil and prizes and, you know, make the most fun as possible. So the last bit of announcements in phase 3 in a second here. I'm going to take a short break again and do another raffle. There's just some stuff to talk about our wings and a little bit about our organization, some changes to the website and a couple other little things. Plus, I've got the assist spotlight I want to talk about next. But before we get there, let's have another raffle, shall we? If you are on Twitch, Grand Assembly VC, and you want to enter and you're not in game with us here, go ahead and put a 3-digit number in any of those chats from 000 to 999. If you're in game, go ahead and do a /random. We'll get Reika's roll here in a second and see what that is. And closest number to her number will be a winner. Really appreciate so many of you sticking through a lot of stuff we've had to talk about today. It's already been an hour 45 since we started, but so many of you are here. Really appreciate you guys. This is our way. If you're new to these assemblies, this is our way to really connect, like as a meeting. So we have different kinds of meetings, and we have different ways of communicating here. I know that since the beginning of Azure, I've kind of always favored this sort of approach where you know, we can come together in a space and I can give, you know, my updates on these things, you know, be able to tell you guys straight up what's going on here and what we're doing and what we're coming up with. You know, and of course we have the posts online and we've got the podcast and some other things, but you know, this is a great way for us to be able to meet up and, you know, have a Q&A as well after this. And it's always been awesome ever since our very first company meeting. You know, the very first company meeting was scheduled to be at the amphitheater in Gridania, believe it or not. We called it company meeting. It wasn't a grand assembly yet. Wasn't that grand in the beginning. Oh, it was a little bit grand, but, you know, we were trying to get our own house. We didn't have a house, so we didn't have a place to meet. So we scheduled it for the amphitheater, and the day of the first meeting, we got our house. And we actually had our meeting in our house, and that was awesome. And ever since, and it's always kind of had this layout. It's grown. We've got more blue over the years. But, you know, it's an awesome time to be able to meet with everybody. We also have a recording of this that will be posted just a little after, possibly overnight, since it has to process. You got to get the VOD off Twitch and everything. And that will be uploaded to our YouTube, which will be a copy of this. So that way folks who didn't make it or folks who left early still have a chance to check out what happened at the assembly. So don't forget, there will be a, let's see here. Oh, Cortalis, are you aware that you're only rolling out of 100? You can roll just regular random rolls all the way through 0 to 999. So unless you mean for that, you know, then that's that count. Okay, there you go. Okay, we'll count your second one there. 811. Yep. Thanks, Rack. All right, last chance to roll if you want to enter. Oh, see a couple people that actually need roles updated here. Let me fix you there. Try to get these as close as possible to when people first join, but sometimes they slip through the cracks. There we go. Majin, Fiona, and Isaac, your roles are updated. There we go. All right, cool. All right, guys. Time to find out who's going to win the second raffle. This is a double prize, just like last time. Yeah, I didn't even see that. Thanks, Rack. Thanks again. Okay, council, eagle-eyed. There we go. Drum roll. And the number is 696. All right, something nice in the middle now. So we've got 696. I see a 655. Looking at all chats here. 600s. Number closest to 696. 696. I think 655 is pretty close. Also a low 700. Zoc with the 713. That's pretty low too. Darn. They're saying darn? Darn is 694. Where's Darn's at? Let's see. Where are you at, Darn? Oh, right after the big group that rolled. Okay. 694. Okay, well, there's nothing closer than that. That's 2 away. Congratulations, Darnile. Lieutenant Diamond Dust. Congratulations. Our resident Meat King with his Smoker of Legend. Congratulations on your brand new Nimian Ulasapa bird and a Figmental Weapon Coffer. Congratulations. Don't forget, we got one more raffle coming up after the next set of announcements. The shortest announcement phase of them all. Just some stuff to tie up here at the end. Couple important things though. Still a couple more things that are really important to talk about. Okay, so we did talk a lot about a lot of things coming up here for Azure. The final quarter of the year, what to expect, events, plans, and of course the mega weekend to come. Lastly, I wanted to go over some stuff to do with our Azure Wings, our Assist, and our status of our extended services and social platforms, which will be last before the Q&A. So without further ado, let me mention that right now our Azure Wings statuses, currently we have Wings in Warframe. That was started earlier this year, so that's still early on, but it's actually doing very well. It's got some pretty active clan nights and going well. We are in World of Warcraft, Star Citizen, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Elder Scrolls Online on PlayStation and PC, and also Guild Wars 2, with plans to support all 3 Guild Wars games, 3 in development now. Monster Hunter Wilds, which we have our clan in, and of course which we don't have a wing in, but it's our main game, is Final Fantasy 14, as everybody knows. The wings that we have of Azure are all in a constant state of growth. Right now, they are in need of everything. So recruiters, people who want to get involved is what we call pathfinders. Those are folks that help, spearhead these things, these projects. If there's games that have stuff like our flagship in SOTOR needs resources, we have one pathfinder there who has been slowly farming those, keeping buffs up for members over there. There's about 75 of us that are over in SOTOR in a galaxy far, far away. We need pathfinders. We're looking for future wing commanders, which pathfinders can become. Wing commanders are the leaders, the guild leaders of our wings. Of course, I own the Azure properties and guilds, but our wing commanders act as the active guild leaders and, again, the ones that spearhead those wings forward. We are always needing more of those. The goal is to at least have a good amount of wing commanders and co-wing commanders like we have with Warframe. Lieutenant Nova and Lycoria here overseeing the Azure Tenno over in Warframe, and our Lieutenant Aaron Wells, who is leading the Star Citizen organization forward. Star Citizen also has events just like Warframe's Monday and Wednesday. Star Citizen is every Sunday at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. We do some fun org activity. Overall, we've got a couple other, small wings. There were some of the ones I mentioned where we might have, 40 people here, 10 people there, 15. The rosters vary. And of course, we just said goodbye to our 100-man maxed out Destiny clan, due to changes in that game and decisions that were made. It's run its course. There's no new content ever again. So we retired the Azure Wardens. We've got Azure Legion, our Azure Warframe, and the rest that are Azure Infinitum properties that are slowly growing, recruiting, and officially we've been we've been turning up the volume on recruitment to try to get a little bit more activity in some of the smaller ones. It is a process, so we want everybody to know that this is indeed a process, and it does take time. Some are newer than others, and some are further along than others. There's even ones like, again, Warframe, right under that 30 member mark, but people are playing a lot and playing together, and that can sometimes equal almost the same attendance that we have for our smaller FF14 events. So it's the roster count doesn't always mean everything. Sometimes there's smaller rosters with a lot of people playing together, but we want to see everything grow. We want it to grow carefully, of course, in Azure fashion. We want to provide for our members, make sure we've got everything available that a guild can offer. Over in Warframe, we are actually in need of finishing a few research items. There's almost everything is complete there at the guild hall. You can go to guild hall, or dojo as they call it, pick up blueprints for anything that a guild can offer that you want a blueprint for to craft, and you can get that from our hall. We're also collecting a lot of resources in the quote-unquote FC chest over in Warframe. Not FC there, but clan chest. Any of those type of material donations are always welcome. They actually say what they need when you go to view the ones that aren't finished yet. There's only a couple that aren't finished, but the dojo is beautifully constructed. It is humongous, and has all the features and things that are needed for a Warframe clan. So I know today a few people that were new discovered that we have activity going on over there and wanted to join, and we highly welcome you to come hang out with us. We've got some very, very passionate Warframe fans and long-time players that are in there, as well as some newbies, which is a great mix, just like our FC. Great time to get involved and not feel like you're super behind, because there's other people that are right there with you just starting the game. And then, of course, the vets we have are super happy to help. Members of Assist and Council that, help out a lot in the wing. Always thankful for them. Star Citizen, very similar, smaller number of people, but very passionate mix of new and longtime veterans. Over there, we're actually looking for continued collection of high-grade military components, such as power plants that we need for some of the ships to be able to do one of the special missions that has... It's a tactical strike mission that has bad radiation bursts that the ships can't survive when they go through the trench runs that's in that mission. And so we're collecting power plants over there. If you're one of our Star Citizen members and you know how to help with that, great. I know we got some folks that are really savvy on the crafting and the exploring and everything over there, who are just kind of doing their best right now while we're kind of shifting focus to other pieces of content that are coming out for it. There's always kind of a featured mission or something real special. There's a few big operations that we can do as a clan, and a couple of them we've done test runs of already. So those are really fun. And I've got videos from those events coming out soon on our YouTube, and they're pretty entertaining. So, you might want to check it out sometime, or don't forget, the game is an alpha. It is an alpha. It does have its bugs. It is a lot of fun. If you find a gameplay loop that you really enjoy alone or with the clan, it can make a big difference. Just like in 14, when you're alone versus with an FC, it can be a very different experience. So free fly week is over. So that means that, it's back to, needing someone to buy a ship to be able to go in and check that out. Like I said, they're always adding to it. The purpose right now that we're telling people, the reason, like, okay, well, what purpose do I have going into it when, it's not fully complete yet? Well, you can get to know the areas. You can get to know some of the ships. It's not as crazy as some people think. It's like, there's very expensive ships, like very expensive, but they're meant for clans or orgs, to buy together, group pay, stuff like that. One person can't man the really humongous things all alone. You need like groups. So the best thing you can do is to get a starter package, get used to flying, come along with the org. Within our org, we literally have like everything covered. Like, we have a crap load of capital ships. We have like the best stuff in the game, within the org, and you can share ships, and, people can get on your ship, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that. So, just put it out there that we are always looking for more people to join the org and get familiar with the game and check it out, and, come along with us for org nights every Sunday. And as far as the other wings go, like I said, they don't have specific needs other than just everything: resources, recruitment, membership, additional scouts and leaders that want to join over there. We got a little bit of everybody across everything, just enough to manage some of the smaller ones. But there's games like WoW, where our WoW wing is meant to remain casual. We're not hitting the raids really hard or anything like that. I know that doesn't sound good to some people, but there's other people who don't really want that stress, or they might have another guild on another character that they really like. That's always fine. We just want to make sure that for that game specifically, unless we have a wing commander or a pathfinder who's really spearheading and passionate about getting raids together for people there, that we remain casual. And that has been pretty attractive to some members that want to play WoW in that way and just kind of enjoy the game without the stress of, it's a little different stress than the stress in 14 raids. It's a little different. When you're in Azure, you're not really worrying about that guild toxicity that you experience in a lot of other guilds. So there's that as well. And it is small, but it's there. It is there. It's always there. It's always available. So besides that, going into what's going on with our some of our extended services. So beyond the wings and beyond the guilds, our Azure podcast has returned. We are 3 episodes into the return of the podcast. We've been doing weekly recordings, and it's gone very, very well. We've had some pretty funny moments. We had some memorable podcast returns. We've got Rufus back on the show with Aslan, brand new. Lily joined us. Troa was on there. We'd like to have more folks with us for those episodes and get some more voices for the show. There are times that it might come down to 1 or 2 of us presenting just for that week's news, and then other ones where we have bigger groups that are on there. If we have anybody within membership as well, because we've already asked all the scouts and up for at least for who's interested and available. We record Sundays, second and fourth Sundays, I think, or 3. Let me double check here, just to make sure. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. We split it up so that there was 2 times. So our first and third Sundays are 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Our second and fourth Sundays are 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's 3 and 6 Pacific and 6 and 9 Eastern. That way we can kind of, get 2 different types of crowds that, a later night crowd. There might be people who work earlier on Sunday. Maybe there's people who are only available on Sunday night versus Sunday morning, or vice versa. Not morning, afternoon. And it's gone well so far. But if we have members who would like to be on the show, and you have a decent mic and you'd like to, talk for a good hour and a half with us, I do really good editing and cut out any of the breaks or, sneezes or anything like that. We just have a straight recording where, we go through about an hour and a half, talk about stuff going on with the community. We feature news from the wings and those games as well. And oftentimes we have a focus, a focus part where we'll talk about other stuff in the game industry, or, anything that's upcoming that we're looking forward to, or we've been playing. It just kind of gives our members a way to hear kind of an extended take on some of the wing stuff that we don't always include in the assembly. Because assembly, we have a lot to talk about, like we're doing right now. We have, we're close to end time, and we've gotten through just about everything. We still have Q&A. But we can kind of give an extended look there. We also, welcome anybody that just wants to hang out there, chat a little bit. It's kind of meant to be a friendly chat, as well as a kind of professional, news for the community, and then just a friendly chat the rest of the way. So this gives our listeners a chance to get to know the voices that are on the podcast a little bit more too, and gives us, that space to talk a little bit more outside of assembly on official and non-official things with Azure. So so far so good. We're pretty pleased with it. The latest episode 37, came out a couple days ago, and the next one is going to be recorded tomorrow. and should come out anytime between Mondays and Wednesdays. I've given it a window so that way I have time to edit it. And, you know, usually a 2 hour, or not 2 hour, about an hour to 15 edit kind of turns into a 2 hour thing. So, you know, if I do a little bit or all at once, I have that choice between Mondays and Wednesdays. So you can expect to see those weekly, but they'll be released anytime between Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday each week. They are only on our YouTube right now. I've already looked into putting it up on Spotify. I just need to gather up recordings of every single one. There's some very old ones when we first started this in 2019, the podcast, and then it went on a break like 2 other times where we went on a hiatus with it, you know, just got to get all the recordings together and basically put all 37 episodes up there. But we would like to have it on Spotify soon. There were plans for that. Haven't forgotten about that. I appreciate the question because that would make it even more convenient. The videos that are on YouTube of the podcast just kind of show us hanging out in the FC lawn and just kind of showcasing the FC estate, and whoever runs by during the show, you know, might wave or something like that in the episode. But the audio for Spotify would be really, really good to upload. I know what it takes to put stuff on there. I've put stuff up on there before. Other than that, we are consolidating the news posts for our Azure Infinitum Facebook pages. So for those that know of our Azure Infinitum Facebook pages, we had a page for every single week. Every other social media account that Azure has, like X, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Pinterest, Threads, Instagram, all of those Azure accounts will continue as they already are, featuring news from all across Azure and across our different games. But the Facebook pages will be consolidated into the main global Azure Infinitum page now. So if you follow any of the individual wing pages, all that content is going to be posted from now on the main one. So it'll be one straight feed. It's a lot easier for me to do it that way than having to jump around to like 10 different pages as I post. So, and it works better on all of our other social medias anyway. So that is a recent change. Finally, let me see here, in Discord, changes to role select channel have been made in the last 2 days. So if you go to role select, you might see a couple additions plus a couple removals. There was some Destiny content and some older stuff that was removed, as well as roles for Crescent Crusade. Let me see, what else did we add here? I'll give you an exact here. Let me pull it up. So we wanted to put Warframe on there because for whatever reason that wasn't selectable. That's fixed, and I apologize if anybody was trying to subscribe to Warframe events and it wasn't working. It should be working fine now. That's both in the game rules section, but also the event section, because there's event pings and role pings. So they're both roles, but one specifically for the role and the other ones are specifically for like the clan. Like Azure Tenno is a role that's for clan members, but Warframe role is a role for any Warframe players, and we have it set up that way for every single Azure guild. So if you're in the game, you can take the role so that you can get pings if there's a ping for that game's role. But we give the custom, like whatchamacallit, custom per guild roles. Like for 14, if you're 14, you're 14 forever, and then you have FC member. But if you become a scout, then ranks are universal, and they're anchored in Discord, as we call them. So you're a scout everywhere. But if you're a member, then you're either SOTOR member, 14 member, Azure Tenno. So there's always a guild role and a game role as well. So you won't see any of the guild roles on there because we only add those when someone joins. But the game roles are all on there to choose if you want to. You can also select it a second time, which removes it. Anybody that I know is from 14, I will automatically give 14 to. So you don't want to click 14 again. It might take your 14 roll away, and then I'll have to edit it and be grumpy in the future. So just kidding. There's also the raffle roll and some other fun stuff for community roles like roleplay, streamer, raider, things like that. This was all cleaned up recently, so the number of times that this has been selected where it says like only 3 people have clicked like the crafting gathering one, that's not really an actual number for how many people have clicked it, because every time I edit it, it resets it to 0. So But these are very useful. Role select channel right there in the general category, same category the assembly VC is in. Very, very, very good to use if you want to subscribe to those pings. And we're almost done here. The only other thing done for Discord recently was that the Azure Fan Festival watch party channels have been hidden for now. We've not fully decided on doing a watch party for Japan Fan Festival, but the watch parties for NA, especially NA, and then EU were both great, and we had raffles and chat and everything the whole time. And the watch parties were a lot of fun. EU was a little rough because it was very early in the AM for our North American crowd, and we didn't have as much folks in the VC for that one. But for NA, it was pretty insane, especially in person. There were a lot of people in person that went and met up too. So we might just be doing a couple celebration raffles during Japan. Not totally sure, but that is at the end of November. So we'll have another couple assemblies until then to decide on that. But the fan festival channels are currently hidden until we decide, or they'll just come back in 2029 when we have, maybe, hopefully it's not 2029. I hope it's like mid to late 2028 for the next fan festivals. But yeah, so those are cleaned up now and hidden. They'll return when they return. And in case you were wondering where the fan festival channels went, they're not gone. They're just hidden until the next time we need them. So that cleans up the list a little bit. I know we have a lot of channels. Don't forget, you can go to the browse channels option at the very top of the Discord app or browser. And I don't, it might be slightly different on mobile, forgive me, but you can click it right under the events where it says 23 events. And that's another new addition. We have all the Summer Festival events have actually been added to Discord. So you can see them on the events tab at the very top of Discord. You'll see it right there, right under the server banner, or right under where the current event says Azure Grand Assembly 2026 happening. But right under that, 23 events. Those are every single event taking place at Summerfest with the description, pictures, and more. So you don't even have to go to those links to go to the actual guide. You can actually see the events live there, and they're going to update throughout all of Summerfest and show live at the top. So very cool. We are also 24 out of 36 total boosts needed to have all the features unlocked in Discord. The most important stuff is taken care of. However, there's a bunch that I'm sure are going to be falling off here soon, because we had a lot of awesome people donate boosts last month. We could always use more, because as soon as we get under, I think it was how much was it, 752, so it's like 14 boosts. I think once we're under, if we can drop rather quickly, because somebody who put in like 10 might not be here, and then, like, you know, we might go down. But we want to make sure that our custom invite link never goes away, because that's how people join the Discord, and it's everywhere. It's all on our website. It's across the internet. We don't ever want that to drop. So even though right now we have the basics unlocked, you know, we want to keep our shiny names, our server tag, which also helps people discover us. You can always have the AZRE Azure server tag added to your Discord name anytime through your settings. And that also shows, you know, what server you're a part of. Other people can actually click it and join our server through it. So that's really helpful. But you know, usually once a month, boosts start dropping, and then we need to get them again. So we don't have a huge trouble getting them, but they did get really low to the point a month ago where we lost the custom invite link for like a day. And everybody that was trying to join it was like, you know, messaging us. And we were like, oh crap, why isn't it working? So, you know, Discord boosts are always highly appreciated. And there's nothing else for Discord on that end. And then, of course, we'll see some additional Azure website maintenances in September. A couple things to edit, fix, and add on. There is a login error that's been showing up for some people on the Azure Infinitum community site, which is azureinfinitum.com. And the only way to really get around that is to sign out, clear your cache, log back in with your email that you signed up with, not Discord. If you have two different Discord accounts, or you signed in on one via one device and one on another one, that could also trip it up too. I don't know why. That service is handled by the service that we host on called GuildTag. And for those that don't know, if you join GuildTag to try to join the Azure website, you still have to click join site to join the Azure website. So you can actually make a GuildTag account and not make an account in Azure. So no, not everybody has to be registered, but if you want to register on there, you can follow other members, add friends, get Azure achievements, and more. It's a lot of fun to list your Twitch streams on there and any other media that you want to connect. Every member gets a actual profile with a feed on it and things that you can post. There's even a custom blog thing, and not a lot of people use it, but it's all there. So there's a lot of depth to our community site than really what it looks like on the surface. But if you explore it and go through some of those drop-down links, or check out the profile system and make sure that you're joined to the site, because the last thing I have to talk about coming up next, you're going to need to be registered, and that is Azure Scout Squad Initiative Support Team. Initiative and Support Team. So our assist guys. If you are interested in coming up in rank, or you are interested in future event hosting, potentially future leadership, never expected, but it's always there as an opportunity. If you would like to become a light moderator for Azure, keeping an eye out for the council and I for any important needs, issues, or things to know about. If you've got an interest in seeing what goes on a little bit behind the curtain and being a part of either event logistics, recruitment, becoming an Azure Stars, Special Tactics, and Recruitment Squad member, we always need more members of our scouts. And even if you are just a helpful person who, kind of comes along and wants to, just help a member now and then, and maybe like post a message in Scout and say, hey, these guys are, looking to get this done, and, they want to get this clear soon, and, maybe some members could help them or other scouts could help them, then, it helps the whole team. That is what our Scout chat is for, as well as the in-game Scout link shell. So stepping up into assist it's never expected to promote further. You can remain a career scout if you like, or work towards ranking up. Our scout captains are those that have been cleared to help host Azure events without council supervision and been trained by council. And the scout captains are those that we choose leadership from. So the sergeants are those that are heavily involved in attending events, recruiting, and some of the most active scouts. And the thing is that none of them are better than any, because we need good people at every level. So if you're a member that already helps other members and you're active and you want to just help keep an eye out, and that's the most basic things that scouts do, you can join assist. And again, if you're wanting to go really gung-ho with it and get really involved, there's opportunities there too. Assist is full of opportunities. So you're going to want to make sure that you're registered with our website, so that way you can see Assist HQ if you step up to join scouts. And you're going to make sure that you're on our Discord, so that way you can see the Assist HQ channels and the Scout channels, recruitment and event reports as well, in case they're needed. Those reports help our whole team, know what's going on, how the events went, if there were any issues, if there was any feedback. They help us know when new recruits join, if those recruits have any needs. Maybe we have somebody who's hard of hearing or doesn't like to use VC. If there's any important things, that they need that's coming up, those reports help the whole team. So that's why we have that as well. So yeah, assist is always there, and always, an opportunity for people to get more involved. You don't even have to be a scout though to be a helpful member. Just having people who are, answering people in chat, sharing advice and wisdom, or even just going along, for a usual dungeon run or something, is also always welcome in our membership. We just like to give a little spotlight here and also thank our current scouts who have been tremendously helpful. We have a handful of star recruiters as well as event hosts, that have joined the team, recently, and it's just been awesome. It's been awesome overall. So if you want to get started in assist and you're ever interested in ranking up here, there are times that we might reach out to you if we notice you're a really active member that could be a great fit. If we don't, that doesn't mean anything. That just means that we haven't, and maybe we've been busy and we haven't identified you yet for that. But you can always reach out to us. So a quick message to me, or catch me in VC and ask a question. Maybe message any other council that you see here or on our list of lieutenants and generals. Are always happy to talk to you about joining assist, and current scouts too, especially scout captains who are leaders amongst assist. They can always direct you to the right place as well. So, my friends, that is everything that I've brought for our announcement phases at this assembly. We're going to have one more raffle. We've covered a lot today. We talked a lot about Summerfest, a lot about what to expect coming up in the near future, event changes and updates, things to get excited about, things that our wings need, what's going on outside of 14, and a lot more. So, I really appreciate you all for sticking with us through this whole assembly. Our Q&A will take place just after this raffle. And the Q&A, we want to ask that, if you want to ask a question, you're welcome to ask about anything that we talked about here today. If you have a proposal, feedback for Council and I, you're also welcome to bring that up too. If there's something like a Eternal Bond ceremony or a wedding in one of our games, 14 or otherwise, let us know. If you're looking for people, to invite. If you want to let us know that you've got a late patch static farming or just something that you want to do, maybe you're looking for a group of people that want to do deep dungeons or something like that. Q&A is also an open forum, so it's your moment to bring that up. Also, don't forget that we have an LFG forum channel in our Discord in the 14 category. LFG is a great place to make a listing to say, hey, I'd like to really get this done. You can see in there now, if you look at it, there's listings for deep dungeons, people that want to do that. There's people who want to do wing farms for the Dawntrail mount, EX trial mounts, older raids, and more. So LFG is always a good channel to keep in mind to use or check out to see if there's something going on that you might also want to do. So before we go into Q&A here, I'm going to do our last raffle of this assembly. Again, a double prize. This time it includes a lot of gil. Be excited. If you'd like to enter, please /random now, in-game if you're here with us. Live on Twitch, 3-digit number between 000 and 999, or a 3-digit number of the same in the Grand Assembly VC chat. Gotta have water nearby for these things. All right. Throws a high quality bottle of ranch at Reika's what? Reika ... My head? Oh, my feet. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. Always need one of those. Always got to restock. All right, guys, last chance to enter. Last chance to enter. If you haven't rolled yet or put in a number, we want to see them. Might win some big gil. We got one more roll here. All right, I'm going to call time. Got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, time. Drum roll. Let's see. The number closest to mine will win a prize from the prize pool. Again, double prize with some big gil. There we go. 820. Well, I got a nice high, low, and middle this time during this assembly. So 820, that's close to, we got an 875. We've got a, let's see. Looking at Twitch, looking at chat here. Hey, closest to 820. Artemisia is, what, 55 away? Any high 700s? Oh, I see it, 838 from Darnile. Oh my gosh, darn. No way. Oh my goodness. I think Darn did it again. All right. Lieutenant Diamond Dust, congrats. $1 million gil. And a light loader minion. Congratulations. How about we do one more? Let's do one more. This one, Darn is banned from. This is the non-Darn raffle. One more, guys. One more. Slash random if you'd like to enter. One more prize awaits. 3-digit number on Twitch, Grand Assembly chat, or random roll in game. Very nice, very nice. All right. See, Darn rolled anyway. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. I'm going to call time. That's our short bonus raffle. Number is 319. 319. Number closest to 319. We got a couple high 200s. Okay. Oh, we got a 329 over on Discord chat. 329. Let's see. 319, 319. I think the 329, I think, is the closest. If I'm not mistaken. Looking at all chats here. Okay. 329 is only 10 away. Yeah, to beat it, it would have to be under 329 and over like 309. So yeah, I think that would be you, Fiona. Fiona over in Grand Assembly chat. Congratulations. Whoops. BC, there we go. Let's see. Are you in game? If not, that's okay. I could trade you at the next most convenient time that we're both on. You are. Okay. Let me see here. Are you here at the assembly? Just come forward. I'm just looking for you. I don't play with names on, so I gotta like tab around like this. I am lost somewhere under a bridge. Oh no. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find Fiona here. Let's see. We're gonna find Fiona. Oh boy, we got 90 people online. I'm trying to find one name. Let's see. Yeah, I could have just did player search, actually. Oh boy, okay. Lost under a bridge. Oh, right. I'm still getting used to that. Fiona is one of our Chapter 2 members. So you wouldn't be in the main FC roster. Right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Are you in Mist? Do you know how to get to Mist? Mist is on your teleport menu. It'll take you to Plot 9, which is right outside our Chapter 2 estate. And then if you get there, you can use your map to see where Plot 1 is. It's not far away. It looks like a couple people are going outside. They might be able to guide you here. Plot 1, top floor, is where we're at. That's our Grand Assembly Chamber for all of Azure. Okay, well, Fiona is on the way to get their prize. You got a nice prize waiting for you. Nice minion and 1,000,000 gil. Just come up and trade me as soon as you get here. We're going to start Q&A, so if anybody has anything they'd like to put forward to the FC, the council, and I, if you're in-game, go ahead and line up behind the podium. If you want to type it in-game, you're welcome to. If you want to come up on stage here for the to use voice, you can also use the raise hand feature here in the Grand Assembly VC chat. I can also drag you or invite you to voice. It is up to you. So any form of chat or VC that you want to use here, just go ahead. We got Cotalis is up first. Yeah, just form a single file line behind the podium if you'd like to join us for Q&A. That is the end of our announcement phases, so we're going to finish up with Q&A here. Okay, Crotalis is first in line. Let's see. Oh, did Fiona make it? Ah, there's Fiona. Yep, just come up front here. Just come around Crotalis up front and I'll trade you. A little bit closer. There we go. Alrighty. Welcome to the Grand Assembly Chamber in Infinitum Hall. Here's 1,000,000 gil. Oh, whoops, I got one more thing for you. Hold on. Gotta cancel that. Okay, 1,000,000 gil and a puny mage. The new relic content. Field op content. There you go. Enjoy. Congrats on winning. You're very welcome. Okay, we're going to pull... Crotalis was first in line, so we're going to pull him up to the stage. Okay, invited to speak. Hey, Crotalis. Thank you for joining us at Q&A here.
So, few things.
You're back?
Yeah, obviously. For the people that don't know me, I am a scout in Azure, but I've been working my butt off lately, so I haven't been around much. I love seeing all the new names that I haven't met yet. Hopefully I'll meet you soon. There were, well, one main thing, because I feel like a lot of the people that are coming in now, especially like the sprouts and returners, are more of the ilk that are kind of preparing for Evercold.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to pitch what I've pitched 1,000,000 times at this point.
Sure.
But unfortunately, I started pitching it when we were at the end of an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I come Evercold, I will be starting a static myself for people that like that type of content, the harder content. Obviously, things are going to go a bit nuts around here when the expansion actually hits. We are a very big free company community that's going to explode.
Oh, it's going to be wild, yeah.
When
we
new
tear
expansion.
Down those gates, it's going to be something. Yep. Highly agree.
But I wanted to throw out there for people that are, say you're brand new, experience, just coming back to prepare for Evercold. If that's the type of content you want to do, please reach out. I will be starting my own static. If I get enough interest, I'll work with council and other assist members and maybe find just a spot, even if I fill up. That's my main thing.
Okay.
There was another thing, but my brain's not working too well right now.
It's all right.
I forgot it because I'm an idiot.
Well, if
I'm
you
loud
remember
and
it,
weird.
if you remember at any time, feel free to let us know. And if you remember it before Q&A ends, you can also come back up here.
I will also put a caveat on that one. If whether you have experience with that content or you don't, there's no walls here. It's all for fun. We're not going to be world first in anything in the static I'm trying to form. I'm just trying to have a group that likes that type of content and have some fun.
Well, sounds good. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you for
And
coming forward.
hopefully I'll be back more consistently very soon. I need the weather in mid Missouri to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we miss having you around. You haven't been on the break too long, and we see you at night sometimes too. But
Sometimes, but it's more just me and you talking in Discord, even if I can't get on. But I will be back hopefully soon,
sticking around
on a regular basis.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to hear,
And if you
Cortellus.
haven't liked the picture of my new wiener dog in Discord, you're wrong. All right, thanks,
is
guys.
that down in our pets channel? Is that where you shared it?
No, I think I posted it in general when I got her.
Oh,
just
general.
all happy,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, feel free to share pets and pet channel too. It kind of helps highlight it a little bit more. It doesn't get buried as much.
Give a shit.
All right. Thanks,
all right, thanks, guys.
All right. Did we have anybody else that might have had any ideas, questions about stuff talked about today at the assembly? Any comments, proposals, feedback for council and I that would like to talk about anything at all? Any eternal bond ceremonies? Any any static ideas? Any plans ahead? Or maybe you want to just say that this is the best FC ever and you love the council and I. Whatever you want to say. This is your moment. This is your moment. Okay, I see Shigetsu. Feel free to type, or if you want to come up to VC, it's up to you. We'll give Shigetsu a moment here to type. Let's see. Shigetsu says, I'm not sure how to get into that VC, but I wanted to say I'm floored with the work you all put in here, and I look forward to helping and all of you with anything. Very nice. We definitely appreciate that. And like I said, help is always welcome here, whether it's assist or as members. The VC, this is a special one. This is a stage channel, so it allows one speaker to be highlighted without being interrupted. And what I can do is I can either invite someone to come up to the VC to talk, or they can always use the raise hand feature, which basically requests to speak. And so that's how this works, in case you ever wanted to. Okay, Shigetsu's asking to speak. All right, come on up. Hey, Shigetsu. You're currently muted. Still shows muted. There we go.
Hello.
Hey, there you are.
Hi. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Thank you for walking me through that.
Of course.
I just wanted to say, I mostly have run solo through MMOs most of my life, and this is kind of like a new experience for me to be in a guild at all and just see, gosh, just how much work y'all put in this. I mean, oh my God. I don't know what to say. Other than I'm inspired, and I hope to do whatever I can. I am sort of a casual player, but
Mhm.
and I have a lot to learn, and I don't know how that kind of fits in because with Evercold coming
Mhm.
out, what that means, how much time is worth trying to like learn all these dungeons and raids and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I love everything I've been seeing here, and thank y'all,
Oh.
and look forward to play with y'all.
Oh, thank you
That's
so
it.
much.
Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. We love to hear it. Thank you. Thank you, Shigetsu. Yeah, we are absolutely like we're very very happy to see so many new folks and new faces joining us, and it's definitely something that means a lot to us. And so like I said, there's always options here. There's always opportunity within Azure to get involved in different ways, or just really, we're most happy. I know the council and I are really most happy when people are just having a good time, enjoying what's provided here, and just basically having a place to call home that they can be reassured will, always be consistent and stable. There's a lot of FCs out there to choose from, even the other big ones that are, it's hard sometimes because you've either got shifting or rotating leadership in other groups, or you've got, schedules that, may or may not be as solid as what we offer, less engaged leadership, things like that. And so a lot of work goes into making this the best we can possibly provide for our members, having hands-on leadership and support teams, really producing like a network here rather than being, a guild in a game with nothing else going on outside. I think our organization as a community, contributes to that. It doesn't mean that every guild that's good needs to have an entire like network setup like we do, but I do think that being professionally run, I know I use a lot of skills. For those that know, I've had a good 18 years in the convention and expo event industry as well as the press industry, and dabbled a little bit in a couple other writing positions in the past. And, there's a lot of stuff that I use here that I use a lot IRL. So I kind of bring with me a lot of expertise on those sort of things. And of course, there's many other people here in our leadership that have led guilds in the past of their own or have experience in doing so, that bring a lot to the table. So it's not always how much experience that someone has that helps us choose our leadership. We really start with how much someone loves Azure. Like that's actually one of the big factors, not just ranking up in our assist system to get to the point of hosting for events or becoming a scout captain, but also just how much they love the community, want to help us succeed. That means more to us than knowing like every single raid mechanic or, being the best at ultimates or whatever. Love for the community comes first, followed by, any additional experience as a bonus. And this could be your first time being on in a guild support structure or a leadership team, in anyone's future here. This could be your first one helping lead, if you were to rank up there. And as members, we want to inspire our members, not just have a big roster. So, we want people to be proud of their guild, enjoy it, be proud to wear the colors, wear the crest, come along and celebrate with us. Even if you're brand new, as long as you have our name and our crest, like you are home here, you are part of the Azure fam. We want to celebrate our anniversaries and our summer fests and things like that with you. And just, this is all about bringing as many of us together and having a good time as possible. This is the guild that a lot of us wanted to have. Maybe we were growing up in WoW or Final Fantasy 11 and we saw some of these anime, like I said earlier, that, oh man, it would be so cool to have that. And well, we're trying to produce like the most, like family-like but organized network, big community that we can make here. And I think we do a really good job at it. I'm really passionate about this. I've been at this for in Azure 12 years, going back 20 something years of guild leadership just in games. Of course, I've been with communities IRL that I've helped out with or led, but with game communities, I think it's really one of the most like intimate social gauntlets, as I call it sometimes, because you really meet all kinds of people. And I think having that consistency in meeting people and getting to know different needs and play styles and availabilities, people from different countries, and maybe English isn't always their first language, and just understanding our people and what they need, what they like, and how we can best serve them is really important to us. So what you get with Azure Infinitum is a lot of reassurance. That's something that's hard to come by with a lot of guilds, because there's some that are fly by night, or some that are big for a year and they fall. Why have we been here this whole time and remained really high at the top? And that's really due to a lot of membership and leadership support. So having the support of our members and then also having engaged leadership goes a long way, goes a really long way. Of course, I'm always going to be here for as long as I humanly can. Till my dying day, I will be here with our community. And, we want to advance as much as we can across 14 and all of our wings that are all, like I said, we've got, consistent growth. The other nice thing is that when other big games do come out, we've got a fully operational and functional community network here ready to dive in. So, when you're in Azure, you're in very good hands. I see Mike here, Mike Stormbreaker, here at the podium. Would you like to either chat or come up into VC? Feel free, either way. Okay, Mike is requesting. Okay, invite, come up. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage, Mike.
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that this is awesome. This guild, everything that you guys are doing, all the
Thank you
events.
so much.
It sounds amazing. I second what Shigetsu said, that I mostly play casual and alone in MMOs.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time that I'm in a guild like this. I have been in another guilds, but they never make events or something like that. This is the things that you're doing. All of the council is amazing. I just want to say that.
Thank you so much.
But I have a question.
Yes.
As I said, I'm more a casual player. Maybe I play 1 month or 2 months and log off for 3 months and come back later.
Okay.
And I don't want to lose my place in the guild.
Of course.
Is there a way that I can inform you guys about that?
Yes, there is. Yes. So we have an inactivity policy. It's very forgiving, but it's there to help us, keep our roster tidy and full of active members. But we don't want anybody to miss out or feel like they can't, keep their spot or rejoin. So the way this works is we have a vacation notices channel very close to the bottom of our Discord channel list. And that's for anybody from any game, because our inactivity policy is very similar across all our games. If you are away more than 2 months, more than 60 days, if you haven't let us know, or you haven't posted in the vacation notices channel, you may be discharged. But if you've posted in the vacation channel, or even just let me know in DM, either way works. When I go to do the roster updates, I can add a vacation rank to you, which can last up to like 90 to 120 days. That's 4 months total. So 4 months is the longest that we give. But even if you say asked for a vacation, you were gone 5 months. If you were to either let me know you're going to come back soon on that 5th month, we can make an exception there, or you can rejoin and reapply anytime. Anybody that's removed for inactivity, if they've crossed those limits, they can reapply up to 2 more times. But if you're removed 3 times for inactivity, you go on a kind of a soft ban because that's 3 times that you had up to 4 months. So that's kind of a while. It's like a whole year of being away. So to keep your spot, all you have to do is just communicate. Just let us know, and try not to be gone for more than 4 months.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
It's the 60-day mark specifically that we remove if we haven't had a message. But as long as there's a message there, then you're good for up to 4 months.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for your kind comments and for asking. That's a really important question. All right, guys. We are just about done here. Q&A's been really awesome so far. We've had some great comments and people coming up to, and some comments in chat as well. Anybody else that had anything else they wanted to put forward to the FC, to Council and I, any comments, any sort of personal events or things like that? Maybe you've got an idea for LFG channel and you want to share it here before before the assembly ends. Thank you, Nikki, for getting the buffs. It is time for buffs. We got a comment from Bombi in the VC chat. Says, glad to be here. Didn't imagine it'd be this nice. Thank you, Bombi. Oh, I'm updating your role as well, Mike. You were still on 14, so you got the official member role. I also got a question here in Tell, but I'm going to read it. It was, how do I go from recruit to member? So members are made at 3 to 7 days of activity. So we do usually 1 or 2 roster checks per week. And when we do that, any promotions that are due are held at that time, or done at that time. They're performed right when we do the roster checks. So if you have been in Azure and you know you've been here active playing for 3 to 7 days, you will get the member rank, and that allows you to access a lot of different facilities, FC chest items 1 through 3, tabs 1 through 3, free onions in the chest to help level your birds, all kinds of chocobo feed, maybe if there's minions or orchestrion rolls in there you might want. And we actually need people to take more stuff from the chest because we actually have so much that gets donated. You guys are so awesome for donating stuff all the time, but we have so much that sometimes we even have to liquidate it because people aren't taking enough. Now, we do have some chest rules on taking entire stacks of materia. We don't want people taking 999 materia at one time. Please don't do that. But also, 20, 30, 40 materia, that's really not that much when you're trying to overmeld. Some crystals when you need a few hundred crystals. When you you see a couple minions, you're like, there's like 3 minions and I really want them. There's like 10 in there, or maybe there's only 3, but you need them. You don't have them. I mean, that's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. So as a member, you can access all that fun stuff in the first 3 tabs, as well as chocobo food. Sometimes there's good raid food, or just, popcorn's really good right now. So the caramel popcorn, people have been putting that in there. There's also dyes. Help yourself to some dyes. There's every kind of dye is in the chest. We used to keep only blue, but now they've done the dye consolidation, so that makes it really easy to have more in there for everybody. So do not hold back too much. Like, please use the chest. We will replenish stuff that goes out if it's any of the regular stuff, like regular dyes. There's special dyes that are a bonus. Those are always in there. I get venture coffers and I get those all the time, so I just put them in the chest. But the chocobo food, if we're out of a certain type, don't go buy some. Let us know what we can restock on, and we'll restock it real quick, like really quick, within minutes or less. So, and then like I said, tab 2 and 3 are materia and miscellaneous. Tab 4 is donations, and if donations tab is full and there's a spot in 5, 5 can take donations too, but 5 is mostly for council, airships, submarines, and daily FC buffs, materials to craft those and ship parts and stuff like that. But if there's space in 5, go ahead and throw a donation in 5 as well. So 4 and 5 donations, 1 through 3 up for grabs. And like I said, check the chest every day. There's stuff every day in that chest. There might be pets in there you want. There might be bonus food. There's also food on the tables at the bottom of the FC hall in the cellar. That stuff gives you a 3% EXP bonus and some stats. So those are refreshed all the time. They have 10 uses a piece. But they're there. They're free for everybody. So there's so much here at the FC Hall that you could explore and use. There's a cutscene viewer. We've got crafting stations that give you a control buff. NPCs that sell basic materials that you need to get started in crafting. Repair materials and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Even cheap food at the maidservant. So lots of stuff here at the hall. And also, if you are a Chapter 2 member, there is the same amount over there. The chest doesn't have as much in it right now. It has the basics. It has some onions and some other stuff. But it will have more as we go. But if you need anything and you're there, just let us know. We try to keep chapter 2 checked daily and stock it as well. So lots of resources available to everybody. Anybody 3 to 7 days in activity will get member rank. And we got a lot that just came in recently from the Nintendo Switch 2 launch that are all going to get member rank real soon. Some have already got to that point because it's already been out a couple weeks. So we'll be doing another roster check here soon, if not tonight. We just did one, I think, yesterday, but we'll double check on that. But thank you for asking. All right, guys. Let me see. Unless there's a Lalafell that I can't see behind the podium because I'm in first person. Let me turn around. Nope. I see a sponge silky floating there. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. That's the end of Q&A. Again, all announcements were made earlier tonight during the assembly. We got a question in chat. Can my husband join the FC? Absolutely. Let me see here. We are at 512, but I might be able to see. Do we have anybody inactive that just crossed in activity today? Let me see here. We have 2 actually that are due for discharge, so we'll have room for that. That's Suig Dejiki. Are you in VC here? No, I don't think not in VC. I'll handle that here in a second. Thank you guys for coming to the assembly tonight. Really appreciate everybody who came up for Q&A as well. If you have something you didn't want to ask publicly, that's also fine. You can always feel free to DM myself or any council member. You can also, don't forget, also you can submit a ticket. There's a ticket system here in Discord that the whole council can see. So if it's not something you want to DM just me, or you want to send it to the whole team, it will be private and the whole team can review it. Or council ranks can review it. Other than that, I want to thank you guys again for coming tonight. Congrats to our raffle winners. Darn, doubling down on those wins. Thanks again, guys. This recording will be posted shortly, as soon as possible. Shortly. Takes a little bit for the VOD to process, but share it with your friends, other Azure members that weren't here. And for those who watch this in the future, thank you for checking this out and catching all the announcements live from Infinitum Hall in Final Fantasy XIV. It's free as the Azure sky. Thank you, my friends. You guys have a good evening.